lovely people of the internet.
Good morning.
You
introduce me first.
Tis I, Ophelia, aka Savage Minnow, here with my actual mama. And our set looks a little bit different today because we have decided to move indoors for the winter.
Yeah. Yes.
And
both agree to that.
Mama's going to be a little bit off, not only because her blood sugar was like messed up before we got started, but also we're now actually looking at ourselves in real time. Like she can.
Oh, we are. We are. And we're backwards. Or should I not say that?
Oh, you're right. We are backwards. I should fix it.
We're not backwards there. Backwards. Are we?
We are. Watch. I'm going to fix it. Okay.
No, that's the way we were.
No, it's not. I'm always on that side of the screen, and you're always on that side of the screen. Go look at any of the previous 15 episodes.
No, there's not 15 episodes.
We are on episode 16.
There is.
It is true. It is true. You ready? Boom. There we go.
Oh.
Doesn't that look more familiar? Because you're Trixie and I'm Katya.
Trixie's the really sassy one, right?
Trixie. Well, I was going to say Trixie usually has bigger hair, but they both have gigantic hair.
Trixie has humongous hair.
Trixie is the one with like the eyeliner that comes up to her.
I'm Trixie.
Yeah.
I'm Trixie.
You're Trixie, I'm Katya.
I always wanted big hair.
Well,
Trixie's got it.
Trixie's got the big hair. I think if you just get a wig like she has.
Oh, it's an idea.
I've seen some of them that are like huge, like French high roll. Like, ooh. You remember when I tried to do that high roll for a cosplay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
if I could rock.
Also today, it's not the first time that we've had him on, but usually we have his cousin. Today we have the toaster oven cousin, just the regular toaster.
You know, I was looking at that because the blood sugar and all that got here a little later than usual. Although sometimes it might be.
It's just a regular 4. It's an older one. It kind of matches the toaster oven.
That's it. It kind of looks like the older one, but then it's not. And so I'm looking at it going, okay, the toaster oven's moved, but okay. It's not the toaster.
I think this one's from the 90s. It's an actual toaster. We're just toasting bread today. We're getting really creative.
I don't know. Today's on you. Thank you. Had nothing to do with. I didn't come up with anything. Nothing. I barely got here on time.
That's okay. That's okay. Today's recipe is actually going to be really easy, and I'll tell you how to do it if you want to like follow the instructions.
Should I do it now?
Why not?
Why not?
Here.
Why not?
I guess I should put up the text at the bottom.
And tell Pammy Poodle I thank you for your
thank you,
comment. That was nice. Thank you.
Poodle. I did make her eat up. She was eating up already. I kid. Did you read it?
Balancing the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Oh,
I'm gonna make the best version of it.
And it's gonna involve a toaster. You know, this is a flashback to my freshman year in college.
Did you guys make toasted?
I'm not gonna give any date on that. Yeah, I'd never had them before. And a couple of my friends were like, because I believe Saturday we all had meal plans. And then that was in the days of mystery meat. And it really was. I don't know what it was. And I ate meat at that time. But then on Saturday, I was like, we're more on our own. I don't know. There wasn't much prepared stuff. So that's when the girls taught me the toasted peanut butter and jelly. And then like the peanut butter gets all melty and everything. I'd never had that.
I have also seen like a grilled version, which I think is where it gets like super, super melty.
We didn't have that option.
That looks a little messy to me. This version,
ours was plenty messy.
The first time I saw somebody do this, it was my ex. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, because he said he was going to make a PB&J. And I was like, you got too many ingredients and too many gadgets here.
Really?
This is my first thought. My first thought is like bread, peanut butter, jelly.
And nothing, no toast.
That's it. You need. Yeah, just But instead, and I'm just going to tell you the recipe. I'm not going to like write it down and like make it. Don't do that.
I'm gonna pickle.
I
I'm
have
sorry. I'm really sorry, but it's dangerous. Look. Broke, and then I tried to unbreak it. Thank you. I'm sorry.
emergency.
If it weren't painful, I wouldn't
Which one is it?
make it not. It's dry skin. And those of you that are my age, it's just like it's worse every year. I don't understand. Thank you.
It's just like the emergency. Like it's not fixed,
but it's not painful anymore. It's just like all of a sudden, boom! I wake up one morning and I have dry skin.
Yeah,
nails too.
Gotta do the lotion. Gotta do the lotion.
It started.
I haven't been doing it on my feet, and I can tell.
Yeah.
No, I'm great.
Okay, so he got out
Holy
equipment.
Spackle is so cold.
Oh, hey, Holy Spackle.
No, wait, we're only kind of being nice to Holy Spackle because like you heard about Math Pig's little Scotsman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there a ransom? What's going on?
Yeah. She's holding. So Spackle
Yeah.
got a hold of Math Pig's knitted Scotsman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And is now holding it ransom
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
until the end of the year. I think
till the end of the year.
I think we have until
There's
the
a
end of
date?
the year.
Oh, to come up with ransom.
Yeah. But Math Pig shared those private messages with me, and like I'm just gonna come out and say, like, I saw the picture that you sent.
Is the Scotsman being mistreated?
Can I show you? I can't show you.
It's,
It
I don't want the Scotsman to be mistreated. Do we know what the ransom? I mean, is it a high ransom? Are we working on it?
It is well.
Not me.
It is all of the Cheesecake Factory gift cards. All of them.
In the world.
All of them. Now, Math Pig did say that he would give 4. He could give up 4 of them.
For what?
No, because Math Pig is weird. Math Pig's just like, I'll give you 4 vouchers. I'm like, what 4 vouchers?
Vouchers. Okay. From Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah. Oh, here, I'll show you on this. I can show you on this.
You know what? I think I'm possibly the only person I did see that. I didn't really, yeah.
That's disturbing, Spackle.
Are we going to say what it is?
It's some stuffing.
It's some stuffing. If you've ever had a little dog animal, you know. It's a little stuffing. I think I'm the only person in the United States that's never been to the Cheesecake Factory.
I've never been either.
Really? Good job, you.
Did you see what she just said?
She left me hanging.
Did you see what she just said?
That didn't feel good.
Did you see
Yeah.
it?
Oh, holy Spackle. Oh.
Sally really wants to fight. Look at that.
I believe Sally bit it already.
It's kind of what it looks like.
It's been bit. The knife. If I had any vouchers, Cheesecake Factory, give them up because I'm missing. Isn't it like the largest menu like anywhere?
I don't know. I've never been.
Is that anybody that knows it? Is that the thing? I thought that's the thing. It's like you can get anything.
It's called the Cheesecake Factory. I just assumed it was like cheesecake and cheesecake related things.
No, I think it's evolved. But you know, when I had that membership to the big, huge warehouse place, they
Costco?
Yes,
Sam's?
yeah, they went Sam's.
Okay.
Stuff. They sold the Cheesecake Factory cheesecake, and I mean they were way cheaper, I think, than it would be there. And they would have holiday.
They were pretty good.
Oh, they were yummo, and I got very spoiled because then it's like, boom, you don't have to cook dessert.
That's true.
You just get that stuff out, put it in the fridge the day before, put it on a pretty platter, and good. There was a pumpkin cheesecake one.
Holy Spackle says that Yard House is bigger. And my favorite thing is actually the salmon, the herb crusted salmon. That does sound really good.
That does sound good. Yeah, Yard House is the name of it.
She said Yard House is bigger, has a bigger selection.
But have you heard of it? It's a restaurant, I assume.
I've heard of it. I've also never been there.
Okay.
I do have. We should cook
I don't
first,
get
right?
it.
I'm just thinking we have several things to do today.
We do.
Uh-huh.
Not a day for me not to feel good, but I'm coming around. Okay.
Well,
So-
we have the cooking, and we have the Reddit.
I'm calling it cooking. No, it is cooking. It is cooking.
We are using heat.
It's better than, it's not our worst. It's far from our worst.
See, okay, because Fabio was saying the other day when we were in the Cannon
Yeah.
Wars, he was saying that flambe is not a cooking technique. See you later, Spackle.
Oh, bye, Spackle.
Try to keep that Scotsman away from your dog.
Or the dog with me, Scotsman. Where you going? Well, it was nice to see you. Go to Cheesecake Factory. Take notes.
I believe that applying heat to something,
But I'm back to Fabio and the flambe.
right? And he was saying flambe isn't cooking.
Okay, here's the thing. I didn't know Fabio that well. And I don't still. But
Fabio.
I think Fabio maybe states things as facts, and he's so good about it. I think that it's like that's a fact.
You just believe him. 'Cause
In
it's
fact, I think we
Fabio.
need to check. I don't know if I'll be in the next competition, but you will be.
Spackle will be.
It's Spackle. I think you need to check him.
That was part of the ransom. I agreed to let her on my team.
Yeah.
Which,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
is the team that she wants to be on anyway, because it is the winning team.
It is. It is the winning. I do believe, and like I said, I'm fuzzy-headed, so y'all don't hold me to any of this. But I think maybe Fabio, you state things as facts, and
We at Fabio on that.
then we're like, oh, and you know, it's and thing and the whole bit sounds so.
He's European.
He's European. He's got a nice accent and he's got a nice vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, of course.
Of course. Of course.
But he, yeah,
He's kind of.
that one he got us on though, the chiffonade versus the julienne.
I heard it called chiffonade.
Chiffonade, fine. But he was saying that,
Julienne.
yeah, we weren't talking pronunciation. We were just talking the actual thing, which was the answer to the question.
You know, but that's what I'm saying is that I've heard it called that. I'm the one who wrote the questions, all right? It's not.
I think the chiffonade is finer. Anybody knows? Jump in.
And I think
I
finely
think-
cut.
Yeah, I think chiffonade is more finely cut than the julienne.
Yeah.
But I think he was saying they're the same thing. I don't know that.
I think he was saying Julienne is the correct
Correct
answer.
answer. Yeah,
And it's like, I would have taken Julienne,
Mm.
but I was referring to chiffonade
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when I wrote the question.
My knowledge comes
Hi,
from
Simos. We're talking about Fabio
my knowledge
and
comes
his
from.
opinionatedness.
Well, did we
No.
say that? We say that. Thank
No.
you, Fabio.
I was saying sometimes it's not Fabio.
I know,
It's his best friend. Simon.
no, but he might watch it later. You know,
If he finds out that we're talking about him,
Yeah.
right?
if he watches it later. Yeah, no, Fabio wouldn't do anything like that. That was the blood sugar talking. I do get a little goofy with blood sugar.
She does. She really does. That's not an excuse. Like, she really does get a
Yeah, and then they think it's humorous. Like it's a medical problem. Oh, it's so funny.
But it is also funny. It's also funny.
She's not drunk.
But like, it is also funny.
No, not day drinking.
No.
Depending on what side of the globe we're on.
Get the
Okay.
toast. We're gonna
Okay,
toast the
so-
toast.
So we're gonna make this. We're doing the whole. This is a big piece of bread.
This is the only bread I have.
Looks yum. Yum. Okay. Oh, do you know about
Over
this?
here.
You know about this?
So what I end up doing usually is that.
Okay. And then you have to flip it halfway.
Yeah, but that's why I have it set on light. All good.
Okay.
I actually can't. They will fit. If
And
you-
they can't maybe see it, so we should have maybe not admitted that there was an issue.
You can scrunch them in
this.
there. You can scrunch them in
But
there.
then they might get stuck, and then you got a
I know, right?
black tarring issue.
I must have said he thought the answer was Julian.
Really?
I get it. I was referring, but like, I would have taken Julian. That's what I was saying.
Well, you know where I learned chiffonade. You know,
Okay.
that season I watched of the cooking show with I think it was people that couldn't cook. It may or may not have been like famous people. I don't. But it was people that
There's a
couldn't-
cooking show for people that couldn't cook. Why were we not on the show?
yeah, and it was competition. And so I think the theory, the plot, whatever, the idea,
The plot.
plot.
I mean,
plot.
it's an American reality show.
It was
so
really
usually there
a
is
plot. It was really a plot. The idea was to see which one of these famous already chefs could be the best to train these people. They can't boil water to be able
I
to.
can boil water.
And then at the end, yeah. At the end, they made like a 3-course. Yeah, that's right. They made a 3-4 course meal, and then they had people come in and tasters and didn't know what.
Why did nobody nominate me for this show?
Well, I only watched it one season, and I didn't get into the whole nomination process.
Fair.
But I believe that's where. And then she teaches them this stuff. She taught them the chiffonade.
You go past that.
What is that?
It's a holder for a microphone, but what it is for our purposes
I don't
is
blame it.
well, that's our microphone. But that's also the marker where your arm disappears into nothingness off the side of the screen. Which is why I had your chair over this way. She's a chair.
I'm a chair scoocher.
So
You know
we're
what
gonna
else
go back.
I've noticed?
While they're still warm, we're gonna put butter or margarine.
I did not do this in the.
We gotta go quick though.
What do we call it? The meal hall food place. We didn't do it, and we were not moving fast because we were in college and it was Saturday morning. Just saying,
Okay,
you fill in the blank.
apply to the inside.
Not in favor of this. I'm opposed to this.
What?
Margarine on a PB&J.
I know. So the first person that I was saying that I saw do this, I was like, this is absolutely wild what is that you're doing. Now I did realize later on. I mean, I knew at the time, but like his dad was really into like if you didn't put like something on a sandwich, like mayo or
Then it wasn't a sandwich.
margarine or butter or something, then it wasn't a sandwich. Like it had to have like margarine on it to like be a sandwich.
Oh, okay. So like meat and cheese, not a sandwich.
Right. It's just meat and cheese on bread. That's not really a real sandwich
Okay.
until you put
Okay.
a
The only time I've seen the butter on it was I went to high school with a very, very thin girl whose mom would make her lunch. And whatever she'd make, she like in addition throw in a PB&J. And she would just okay.
Yeah. I mean, I do jelly first and then peanut butter, but if
Okay.
you want it meltier, then you would
No.
do the peanut butter.
And she would make her PB&J, and then there was hunks. I mean, actual hunks. Margarine. I think the mom.
They
Was,
can hardly hear you when you're.
I think the mom was trying to fatten her up.
Oh,
How do I know if they can hear? Oh, how far up does it need to go? Not the red part. Would be inappropriate.
if it doesn't go to the green, they can't hear you at all. If it's only here, then it's like a low noise. We want it to be like in the yellow. Careful when
Okay.
you're clunking that.
I'm
That's why those
clunking.
are.
If I would, I shouldn't have said that. It's just like that woman that I knew that directed the bell choir, and she's like, "You make a mistake, don't go, because then everybody sees you made it. You just bing 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 bing. Nobody knows you do it.
Like, oh, there was an extra note there that we didn't know about.
Maybe they think the person next to you did it.
You.
Okay, I'm putting jelly on here, or
Do you-
preserves or something.
Do you want to hear the? Yeah, I put
making
peanut
it
butter and
long.
jelly, but like I am using preserves. You can use whatever. That's why I covered the labels though, because it's like use
Mhm.
whatever you got on hand. This is what I
Yeah.
have on hand.
Well, and that's yes, because
Now,
we're
one
not
thing that I
getting
like
and
about-
we're not getting paid. But now this one, if they want to give us some.
Now, I will say you added the same amount of jelly that you normally do on a PB&J. I find with this method you can actually use less jelly
Oh,
because the butter has like absorbed into the bread and it like kind of gives that
Sealed it.
moistness. Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
Spackle
Spackle might have an opinion on that.
head.
I'm saying spackle
Yeah.
and spackling.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I bet she does know about the spackling.
Seal stuff up. I feel like we're spackled here.
So then we're gonna do peanut butter.
Okay.
And peanut butter, again, I think just like a thin amount. It does not have to be as much as like when you were a kid. Like just enough to like make it smooth all the way across. Now this is the kind that you have to like stir, but
um
I eat it a lot. So it doesn't usually require much of a stir.
okay, this is different than the dormitory. It wasn't dormitory. It was what do you
Mess hall?
I don't think it was a mess hall, but yes, the mess.
What was it called where I went to school?
It,
Cafeteria?
I would think a dining room. That place.
Oh yeah, it was a dining hall.
Plus, they really played it up on Parents Week.
That was like the
Like, so
combine.
Yeah.
Now cut it at a diagonal because it just tastes better when you cut it at a diagonal.
can I cut it at 2 diagonals?
Yep. But I want you to fold it in half and show it to him like that. Fold it. Just like,
No, folding any. I thought you meant like pizza.
see how there's like
It's not
like
much.
more soaked into the bread. That was my point. Was that this is a grown up PB&J. It's not like a for small children. I mean, you can feed it to small children. There's not any ages that are excluded.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I just feel like it's a more grown up version of a PB&J sandwich.
So there's less peanut butter and jelly, are we saying?
There's less peanut butter and jelly. And when you taste it, it's a more refined flavor. Taste it!
I'm just gonna
She doesn't believe me.
the one we did in college was not refined. It was. I got a lot of jelly on here.
Smart. She's not a fan.
You know what it is?
What?
You've not had the one we had in college, and that's what I was expecting. It was gooey goodness. It was so gooey and
No, this is like an afternoon snack.
Yeah. Also, I like to really put the peanut butter on it because in my mind, I'm saying protein.
Mm-hmm. I think you got a very jelly bite.
I did. I got a lot of jelly over here.
And too much jelly.
Yeah. Maybe I need here's a not jelly.
was all crushed. Just take a bite of that piece.
I don't want to germ it up. It's so funny.
You're silly. She's cutting like the tiniest little pieces. Like she cut off that corner and then cut off the crust. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want your surprise before we do
I'm mentally processing this.
the Reddit? Okay.
You wanted me to taste the
Yeah.
the bite without the jelly, as much jelly.
And
Preferred the one that in the college mess hall.
you still prefer okay.
It was gooey. It was decadent.
Which is not gooey.
Mm-mm. This is more of a afternoon. This is good. This is an afternoon snack.
This is not a dessert.
The other wasn't. It was really heavy on the peanut butter, but it was melted. And we
You
made.
can put it in the toaster oven after this. Can we try that next week? We'll try a different rendition.
We also perhaps used an English muffin.
We're not going to do that.
I don't know that we did.
You can bring your own English muffin.
I
and we
said
can try.
perhaps. My college days were years ago.
What are we going to call them? We need names for them.
Toasters. Oh, names.
For the toaster? In the toaster oven.
I got to thinking about the cello had a name, but then I remembered it. His name was Henry. If you have a wet wipe, I'd be a fan. Well, I wouldn't hate it.
I don't have it.
Well, because my hands were semi-sticky, and then come to find out this was jelly that I wiped off with my hand.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm kind of sticky. But that's okay.
I don't know where I'm going to plug this in. I was going to plug it in.
There's an extension cord here where Mr. Toaster used to be.
Is that a 3-pound?
No. That orange one I brought, though, is.
No, but it's plugged into the bathroom.
Okay.
But we can just switch that out. Here. This doesn't need much.
Okay.
Keep talking.
I also learned last night about processors and excess energy and heat. A nephew who's a computer engineer. Well, I don't know about those things. But it made sense because we've overheated in here before.
Actually, that was in the sunroom, but
That wasn't the sunroom.
same difference. I mean, really.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the chit chat was about processors and energy in the form of heat. That's a problem these days. You go faster.
Are you ready for your surprise?
No. It's a surprise. I wouldn't be ready. The surprise is
Oh, it gets better. It gets better. You ready?
edition 25th anniversary.
Oh no. Oh no. Do you see what it is?
25th anniversary
No.
limited edition. I see our faces kind of in the river. Well, in the game. Quick start, load game, new game.
Well, why is the mouse not working?
I don't know what I'm missing. I'm missing something.
That is that. But it's not just the same picture. It's actually that.
That's up there?
Yeah. So like if I can get the mouse to work on this.
Oh.
We can actually play.
You know what I ordered?
The book.
A little late on the uptake on that, but I did get it ordered.
Oh, the mouse is totally lagging.
I had a lagging mouse. The one last night was apparently lagging because it ventured over to my mouse traps.
That's a different kind of mouse.
Mm-hmm. It's not anymore. Not
Oh.
even any kind of mouse anymore.
Well,
It's dead. It's dead mouse.
that's what kind of mouse it is now.
That's the kind it is. But if you come into my home and you board the place without a permit, be evicted. All of them. All of them.
Okay. You're actually going to work now?
She's not talking to me because I'm always working.
I'm trying to get the Oregon Trail to work for it.
I need the Oregon Trail. That's excellent.
That mouse keeps jumping.
Jumping up.
You see it? Like, it just, like, won't.
No, I can't see that. No.
Like, jumps from one side of the screen.
Do we have questions?
We do. We
Do
can do
people
that.
want our opinion about their behavior?
We've never asked if they wanted our opinion before.
No, they put it on there. They wanted an opinion. They posted. They didn't want our opinion, perhaps. They wanted an opinion.
We can do that.
They wanted a few opinions. They wanted opinions that agreed with their own.
We can do that. See?
Have these been vetted? Because
No, these are just straight from the website.
because I like last week they were vetted and they weren't like so. That week was it the week before? Everyone was heavy and depressing.
But we can scroll through and just pick the ones that we want. You can have an opinion. Now, I just clicked on the hot.
Hot means a lot of people chatting about it.
Yeah, it means lots of people are commenting.
Okay.
That's the first one. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance I'm not willing to lie about how we met to her family and friends?
Yeah, I like that.
Where did they meet?
They met on Tinder. They met on Tinder.
Well, let's see.
And she's like, I don't want my family knowing that. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I met my fiance online on a dating app.
Yeepers.
We've been together for 2 years now and got engaged recently. However, she keeps telling me that during the wedding she wants me to give a speech talking about how I met her while she was working at a coffee shop. And I was so attracted to her that it was love at first sight, and I immediately asked her to be my girlfriend.
Nope. Mm-mm.
She says that this make her look good to her friends. If I say that she was so beautiful that I immediately asked her out, to clarify, she is saying that I have to say that I asked her to be my girlfriend right at the counter without even having any sort of conversation at first. Like, seriously, why would you even, like, why?
Why are you with this person? You are not an ass. You are not an asshole, sir.
I mean, we can keep going.
This woman is okay. Carry on.
The problem is that I feel uncomfortable with this untrue version of events. Well, duh.
Yeah. Thank you. Good job, you.
I'm happy to say that she is beautiful and that I really love her personality and that we have a great connection. Yeah, but I'm uncomfortable with this portrayal of myself as some sort of creep who asked a complete stranger to be his girlfriend. It's true. It doesn't make him look any better.
That he walked up. She was so beautiful at the coffee counter.
Will you be my girlfriend? No, nobody does that. Right, that's creepy.
They write songs like that.
Yeah.
You are not an asshole. I would rethink this whole marriage thing though, because she wants to recreate events.
Because of all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
There are other lies that she wants me to go along with too.
Oh, I refer to my previous statement on that.
For example, I inherited a house from my grandparents, but she keeps asking me to tell her friends and family that I myself paid for it and bought her the house because she is so special.
Oh, boy.
Why is this woman your fiance?
Anyone's fiance.
After I said no, she's been saying that I care more about the opinions of others than how she feels.
Or facts. Maybe you care about the truth. Does that she is
reconsidering if she wants to be with someone who isn't on her side.
Good.
Do I have a point or does she?
You do.
You do.
her point is nutty. Not her point is no.
Ridiculous.
Her point is there more? There seems like there's a whole other pair.
Just to be clear, my fiance said that the reason she wants me to do the speech and tell people I bought her the house is so that her friends will envy her.
Wait a minute. In the speech, it's also supposed to be about the house.
No. She wants me to do the speech and tell people I bought her the house.
Okay.
So that her friends will envy her.
Oh, of course. We want that.
That makes perfect sense.
That's one of the 7 deadly sins. Just saying. Envy. That's greed. We want to promote that. Of course we want to promote that. We want to promote envy and greed and
sorry, I had to fix the
consumerism, overspending, over having, jealousy. We want to promote all that. She's absolutely right.
She's already told her friends and family those things. But it's another thing to want me to actually talk about them and lie about them. She knows that my friends and family know I inherited the house and that we met on a dating app.
Of course.
But she says that I have to warn them not to say anything and pretend to believe me at the wedding.
Oh, everyone's going to be in this roost. His whole side of the family has to.
Oh my gosh, this is just, I'm sorry, but like,
What?
Yeah. What? She gave me an ultimatum that we won't get married if I don't agree and hasn't talked to me for days. It looks like I'm not the asshole based on responses. Yeah, because this isn't. He posted a while back.
Yep.
How can I get her to see the light? I didn't bring the red flag in here.
Here's what you can do. You want her to see the light?
Oh, you know what I didn't have?
This woman, I don't know her age. I don't know anything. She's not going to see the light. You can pick her out of the house and she can see what kind of light is out there. But you should count your blessings that you figure this out now. And the wedding's off. Hopefully, we don't even know if it's been set. We know they're engaged. We don't know that a date has been set.
That's true.
Easy enough to walk away from that. No phone calls need to be made. And let me
Is that the judgment?
Yes. Yes. And like I said, don't walk, run. It's just tell her, fare thee well out of your house that was from your grandparents. And hope she has plenty of pretend happiness in the future. Because she's not happy with you. You're not enough for her.
Yeah.
You are not enough for this woman.
Yeah, your inherited house and your medium on Tinder is
not enough. You are not romantic enough, and you are not hardworking enough for her. So
bullshit.
I do. And I'm sorry. I is the truth now. We have no concern for the truth. I thought
she what other people say.
I thought she was gonna. She didn't want to read. And all you have to say is we met on a dating app. I don't think people are going to say, "Oh, what a dating app?" Huh. Or you can just say we met on the internet.
This is a very good point.
Leave it vague.
She's saying that I care more about the opinions of other people. That's a quote from his post. She cares what other people think.
Absolutely.
Like, she's the one who's more concerned about what other people think.
Absolutely. He's not concerned. He just wants the facts.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what happened. This is what's going on.
And, like, yeah, he doesn't want people to think that he's a liar because, like, he don't want to be a liar.
And they'll all know. They'll know the facts.
Yeah.
I thought it, yeah, like I said, I thought it was going to be specifics about what dating. I think people know. They say on the internet and you just know it. Okay.
I have two friends who are married, have been married for years. They met on FetLife, which is like specifically like a fetish dating site. Been married for years, have I think 2 kids now. Like, people meet online all the time now.
All the time.
All the time.
Well, that one family, then they were from 2 different countries, and she was It was a dating app from that country. Mary Brides from that country is just well known for that. But then my friend didn't know that, and so she says, "Oh, where did the two of you meet?" Because they were from different countries. And she said, "Oh, we met online."
I mean, that's,
I was like, "Yes,
you can just say online now.
yeah,
like,
you were in a catalog, and your photo was picked." But it seemed to work out. But I'm saying she didn't say, "Oh, I was a mail order bride." She didn't have to say that. She said we met online. And people were, "Oh,
I
if
think
you want to
nowadays,
say."
I think nowadays it is more involved than that too. It's like it is really, even if you are like a mail order bride, it's like there's more like online dating and stuff that happens first. It's not just like you get a name and here's your ticket. Like,
Correct. I think you're right.
you get to know them a little bit first.
I guess you use Translate.
Yeah.
Because there was a language barrier.
Also, the one that I saw that app was like, you could say like, this is my level of English, this is my primary language, and then like they could, the potential suitor could say, I'm comfortable with somebody who only knows a little bit of English if this is their primary language, or
they could say, I'm very comfortable with someone that knows none of my language.
They could say that. I don't know why they would, but they could say that.
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking it through.
But yeah, and the potential bride, and I'm just like, we're just putting gender whatever on it because like that's usually the way that you see it, but it can go either way. But the potential bride has access to that. You can be like, oh well, he's like, scraping the bottom of the barrel, or like, okay, he's got these standards and I meet those standards, and
Right.
That sort of thing. So.
Yeah, decisions can be made. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I think it was I didn't know them well, but it seemed like it was a suitable, a good situation for both of them. Provided them with what they both needed.
Am I the asshole for telling my husband that I expect him to put me above his mom?
Because he should.
Should I click on it?
Because that was in his vows. I think well, and that was used to be in the vows, that you forsaking all others.
I mean, now you can put whatever the hell you want in your vows.
Well,
I got married to my husband and baby daddy 1 year ago. After 4 years of dating, we have a 2-month-old together. Okay. The problem is my husband always seems to prioritize his mom over me. We have lived away from his mom for the 2 years, another city, another state, but now she's moved closer to us.
Sorry. Let me just say that.
I'm sorry.
Our condolences to you.
True. The first 2 years I met her, she was a lovely woman and there was never conflict between us. Until she moved close to us a bit before we got married, but especially after marriage.
That's telling.
After work, my husband visits his mother and spends 5 to 6 hours in her house and comes home really late at night from his mom. He gave away keys of our house so his mom can visit whenever she wants.
That red flag, by the way. Yeah. The virtual red flag.
Yeah.
Okay, he gave her keys. She can.
You have keys to my house, to be fair.
To be fair, I have. Yes, and
I don't usually go for like 5 to 6 hour visits at your house. So like, I mean, I'll come over for like an hour.
Just because you have keys to somebody's house doesn't mean you enter without knocking or without permission.
They're not saying that she enters without knocking.
She said so she can come anytime she wants.
Yeah. He gave our keys to the house so his mom can visit whenever she wants. But so far we haven't gotten to anything saying that she does.
Okay.
She can't. The house is in his name, so I can't speak on that, despite the fact that we both pay the bills and the food we eat here equally. Why is it just in his name then?
Perhaps he inherited it from his grandparents. See the previous.
Okay, that could be fair. That's fair. So his mom can visit whenever he wants. The house is in his name. Oh, I already read that. His mom always throws shade that as a mother, she always comes first and nobody will love my husband like she does. And the only person he needs is his mommy.
Oh,
Oh my God.
this is not healthy.
My husband seems to not get why that would be disrespectful to me. We have a baby now, and I confronted him once again for spending so many hours at his mom's instead of coming home to be a father to his baby. Yeah, 2-month-old baby. He accuses me of being jealous of his mom.
They.
I explained that it's not about jealousy, but about the fact that he lets his mom disrespect me and our family, and he does nothing. Mm-hmm. I told him that I'm his wife and mother of his kid, and I should be his main priority.
Yep.
And family, not his mom. I think her and the kid should be the main priority, but I think that's what she was saying.
Yes.
She's saying I should be his main, but like I think she means like our family, our nuclear family should be your priority.
Mm-hmm. Not your birth family.
Right. He then used a phrase I had said when we first started dating. He said, when we started dating, you told me you don't like men who disrespect their mothers, and now you're asking me to disrespect my mom and put you above her. Which is it? I explained to him that I meant that I don't like men who disrespect their mothers for no reason. If your mom is a narcissistic person who disrespects your wife and mother of your children, she shouldn't be respected on my expense. And if he can't realize that, then maybe he wasn't ready for marriage. He was upset and left home and went to sleep at his mother's place for a few days.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Until I apologized for what I said. Am I the asshole?
No, you're not. Get this worked out now. This is a problem. This is not disrespecting his mother. He's not. She's saying it's okay to disrespect your mother. If she's not behaving properly. This is not disrespecting his mother. This is setting boundaries. 5 to 6 hours, this is my question. Is this nightly? Is that what we're to assume? I mean, after work, my husband visits his mother and spends 5 to 6 hours in her house and comes home really late at night. I mean, we do not have a after work. So, that is just, maybe a month. Oh boy, no. This is not disrespecting her. This is setting limits. This is not right. I don't know what's up with this dude, why he's chosen his mom. But I will say that she raised him, so she's put a lot of these beliefs in his mind. So maybe the wife, can just say, let's sit down, let's chat about this. Here's my feelings on it when we're not upset.
Yeah.
And did your dad was he at your house when you were raised? Was he there, or was he at his mom's house? Maybe I'm serious. Maybe educate him about it, because his mom has been feeding this into him, and he's thinking this is normal behavior. I say when
maybe his dad wasn't there, and that's why he's not necessarily seeing it right away. Mm-hmm, yeah. But maybe talk to him about how did that make you feel that your dad wasn't there? Right. That sort of thing.
Or did you ever spend the night at a friend's house? Or what about your cousins? Or did you go over at night and there was no dad there? And the dad wasn't there for dinner every night, and the dad wasn't there to tuck the kids in, and what was that all?
Or if dad was there, how much of an influence was your dad on your life? How much, what did that do for you?
Yeah. What? Yes. What do you? Because you're right. It's not just about her. It's about this kid. What do you
want to provide for this family as a father and as a husband?
And what do you want your relationship with your child to be? I know he I think is only 2 months old.
Right.
But he's growing.
You're going to start, exactly.
And you're setting.
You're establishing that relationship.
Thank you. You're establishing the relationship. You're establishing the routine, the family, the beliefs, the actions. Now's the time to do it. And I would say, let's let's just work this out now, or see if we don't agree on this.
Because it's gonna be easier, like, on that kid if, like, they grow up with, like, parents that are, like, co-parenting
Mhm.
from two different
Mhm.
households,
Mm-hmm.
than it is gonna be, like, two parents that are, like, not getting along in one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
You are not the asshole. NTA.
If he works full time and then spends 5 hours a day at his mother's, he's not a father. He's just the guy who knocked you up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and look at this one. Respecting your mom should involve being a good husband and father. Otherwise, she raised a deadbeat. Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to be proud of your child. You know, you don't. I know there are women, not a lot that I know, but I know of one.
They're saying that he's cheating if he's spending 5 to 6 hours gone. He may be. Or
I didn't
maybe you can
think
get a
of
hold.
that.
I thought, but then I was like, well, if they said his mom, then, like, surely she can just call his mom.
Mom might not have a home phone. Well, they could call mom. Yeah, I did. Yes, I know somebody that did that. He was retired. Yeah, he was retired. They both were, and then his parents, yes, coming back to me now, lived in a city 5-ish hours away, I think. And he needed to go there to help them with stuff, the house or downside, I don't know what. And I don't know if dad was still alive, but he needed to go there and help his parents, and he was retired, so what the heck. But he had gone back there for a reunion before that. And met up with somebody. So a reunion of sorts. They had a reunion of sorts. And then he just started going there to help his mom and dad at the house.
Huh, go figure.
And then I don't know how she.
This person's saying 9 out of 10 chance. But
I didn't think of it, but yeah.
I mean, it's not. If I did not read in any of this, I think he might be cheating. And to me, I feel like I usually know. Like, even if it's just like they don't want to believe it, and it's just like a sneaking suspicion in the back of their mind.
Maybe that's where she's at, and that's where she's throwing it out here to see if anybody else picks it. I'm not going to say it, but if somebody else says,
I didn't pick up on any of that.
I didn't either, but
so I'm not saying 9 out of 10. I would go 50-50.
I agree.
I
like
like
50-50. I like the 50-50.
Might be.
Easy enough to find out.
Call his mom 3 hours after he gets off work.
Baby in the car seat and go for a drive. Baby's not going to tell. Oh, we went for a drive.
They might not.
We went for a drive past Grandma's house.
They might only have one vehicle.
Good call. They might only have one vehicle. Walk over there. Take the bus.
We don't know how far it is. It might not be as close as your place.
Get a ride. Uber.
Yeah, that's true. If it was me, like, wifey would be like walking over to you.
I'd be.
She'd be like, I'm going for it.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Uber my butt over there and see what be happening. Oh, hi. Hi, mother-in-law. I was just in the neighborhood. Thought I'd pop in.
To be fair, my wife does think I'm a little bit of a mama's kid. You might not be wrong.
Well, this dude is.
But I'm not as bad as this dude, okay? I'm not as bad as this dude. Mm-hmm. Nowhere near that bad.
Dude. Agree with the one that said he's some guy that knocked you up.
Right, yeah.
Because what kind of relationship can they all be forming, this family, if he's at work, how
40 hours a week.
And then he's at his mom's.
20 hours a week.
Please.
Yeah.
More than that, 25 to 30. Oh. And he's commuting. I mean, there's some drive time. He's not home.
This one has over 1,000 comments. Am I the asshole for kicking my little brother out over a prank?
Let's do it. It could go bad.
It could go bad.
It could
It's
go
not that long. It's not that long.
It could go
that's
bad,
how long
and
it
then
is.
we know I have a history of.
That's it. That's
It's
all on
we
the
know that.
screen right now.
Okay.
It is all on the screen. Right
Beautiful,
now.
beautiful.
That's it.
And we had that smoke machine one.
Throwaway account, which like can be good, it can be bad. It can be like
I feel like it says I'm telling the truth here.
right.
I'm spilling my gut.
Sometimes it means like I know that I'm an asshole.
Oh, okay. But it might be I'm not pulling the punch. This is what had happened. I hope that's.
I'm a 25-year-old female, and my husband, who we are calling Marcus, is a 28-year-old male. We have a beautiful 2-month-old daughter. Another 2-month-old daughter.
Just
Well, I don't. The other
child.
2-month-old kid,
Yeah.
but yeah. Background: : About a year ago, my little brother, who we're calling Jacob, 17, came to stay with Marcus and I. My mom said that she and Jacob were constantly fighting, so Jacob asked if he could stay with us until he goes off to college. 17, it's only going to be a year or two.
Oh, okay.
I was a bit hesitant at first, but Jacob is my brother, and I wanted to help him out.
Yeah. And the hubs went along with it. That's well, we don't.
We're going to find out.
I mean, it's a family decision. It's a joint decision.
Right.
It's going to be in your house.
Yeah, I think that probably hubs went along with it. That's my guess, but we might find out. For the past year, everything has been going fairly well until yesterday. Marcus was at work while me, Jacob, and my daughter were all at home. I asked Jacob if he could keep an eye on my daughter for a few minutes while I was in the bathroom. After I walked out, 2-month-old, by the way, 2-month-old daughter. After I walked out of the bathroom, I saw Jacob playing with my daughter. He was at the top of a long staircase before I could blink. Jacob stumbled and my daughter came barreling down the stairs like a rag doll. I started crying hysterically and bolted over the bottom of the stairs. After I got a closer look, it turns out that it wasn't my daughter. It was one of my niece's baby dolls wrapped up in my daughter's blanket. My mind was blank. I looked up and saw Jacob cracking up, saying, "I can't believe that worked." And I snapped. I started screaming at him and told him that it was beyond fucked up.
She's correct.
Which-
Can I digress? Was she home with just her brother and the baby?
Yes, just
Okay.
the three of them while Marcus was at work.
Okay.
Also, I do want to just also side tangent here. Somebody asked me this week if because they said something about that they couldn't watch our stream because it sounded too wholesome, and then somebody else pointed out that we usually drop at least a couple F-bombs.
Yeah, I mean, fuck that.
We qualify. Okay, we have at least dropped 2 F-bombs.
I mean, what the fuck? We're too wholesome. And whatever. If we're too wholesome, we're too wholesome.
We're too wholesome. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you. We are who we are.
They were joking, but they were like, "I don't know if I can watch that. That sounds too wholesome. Like it's you and your mom."
Oh, so just the idea.
Gamer mom cooking sounded like too wholesome. And somebody else was like, "I think they dropped at least a couple F-bombs." I was like, "Yeah, we did."
Yeah.
It's not that wholesome. Okay?
Yeah. I was,
But yes, I agree with the mom here. Beyond fucked up.
yeah, beyond fucked up.
Jacob tried to calm me down and said it was just a joke and that my daughter was safe and sound in her room. I was inconsolable at this point. I told him just to pack his shit and get out.
Oh.
I was going to say get the fuck out, but like she didn't say that.
Okay.
I would say get the fuck out. Jacob started crying, begged me to let him stay and that he didn't mean any harm. I called my mom and told her that she needs to come pick up Jacob or he's going to be on the street! !
Huh.
My mom came and got Jacob, but she later called me and said that I was massively overreacting. Even Marcus agrees with my mom, and he says that Jacob is a dumb teen and should be given a second chance. Now that I'm in a calm state of mind, I'm starting to doubt my reaction, and I'm wondering if I went too far. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, you behaved this, man. You behaved like a mama bear.
That's what I was going to say. It's like, it is completely understandable
Yeah.
her reacting that way.
Absolutely.
It is also completely understandable to like call your brother back up and be like, I hope you learned your lesson, and if you learn your lesson, you can come back.
What she said. 100. Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I don't think I would have kicked him out that quick, but I don't know.
I'm also just going to say OP is not the asshole. I'm not going to say there are no assholes here because your brother was definitely acting like the asshole.
He definitely was.
Or do you think they're all acting like
I think
I could add that one in.
I think the OP is overreacting.
I don't have a
We don't have one for that. So not an asshole.
Okay.
You overreacting is not an asshole.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's a baby, and I think this is her first baby. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Now it's kicking in. Yeah, I probably would have kicked his ass out of the house. Get the hell out of my house! You think that's funny?
I remember, and I don't have kids, but I remember one time my older brother made a joke about putting the dog in the microwave.
Oh.
And I flipped out on him. I was like, this is not even funny. You don't even fucking joke about that.
Right.
You don't
Right.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody last night. Apparently, it's like a trick that people teach dogs. You roll over to act like you shoot them, and then the dog falls over. I
hate it.
I didn't like that. Somebody did that, and I was like, oh no, don't pretend you're shooting Fluffy. I know you're not shooting Fluffy, but don't pretend. I mean, it was impressive that Fluffy could do it because Fluffy wasn't that smart, but and good on them for what. They work together, and I'm sure the treats were given, and he loved it. He did not like the idea of pretending to shoot Fluffy or joke about putting Fluff in the microwave or something like that. No. And this is a child. This is her baby. I mean, your moms know. I mean, if you turn around and you've misplaced your child, oh my God, it should. Oh, and that's This is you think the child is possibly dead if she fell down. Well, yeah, she's gonna be dead or in a vegetative state for the rest of her life if she falls down the friggin' step.
Yeah,
I would have lost my shit.
Especially first kid, 2 months old. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's your job. Your job really is to keep that child alive. That's your job.
Pammy Poodle says, I think no assholes. Kid was an asshole, but it's kind of excusable for teens to be idiots like that.
Yes, I agree, Pammy.
OP does need to apologize / extend an olive branch to remain not the asshole, but her initial emotional response was excusable, in my opinion.
Yeah, Pammy Poodle?
Yes.
I told you, Pammy Poodle and I might not.
Are you related to us, Pammy Poodle?
That might not be a compliment to her, but so I held back on saying that for a long. But yeah, I think you and I. Yeah,
I agree, Pammy.
That's exactly. So when she's on here, we don't even have to do anything. We'll just wait till she replies, and we'll go, "Yep, what Pammy
said."
But if she's grooming,
I need to change the chat box on this.
Grooming, then we're not going to know.
This is one of the really cool things about that I can just do this. So
that we're in a different room.
Yeah. I can actually just change the font color on this so that we can see it a little bit better. I think I want to go with a blue. So when it shows up the chat now, it'll be in a blue color instead of that white color that kind of blends.
It's going to come up there, not there. Not on this.
Here in this little highlighted box.
Okay.
Where it was before, but it was in white and it was hard to see against that background. Because I had originally had it set for it to play out in the square in Independence.
Oh, and that is dirt.
This is dirt.
Which we've discussed. No grass,
dirt.
And no pavement.
I'm hoping that this color will show up in both places. If not, I can make 2 chat boxes.
So now that's going to be blue, but it's not going to go back and change what's already there.
It disappeared everything because every time I make a change to it, it disappears it.
But over on the right, it's white. That's going to stay the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Here.
I completely agree.
Oh, it didn't change it. See, it's still white.
That's fine.
Whatever. I'll just deal with it.
Yep. Over emotional. You know what else? Is it a 2-month-old? Her hormones haven't gotten back to normal.
Yeah.
Well, they never will. poor thing. But yes, her hormones are still in a state of flux,
Mm-hmm.
up and down, up, all over the friggin' board. So very, yeah. So maybe I would have kicked him out.
I think you would have. I probably would have, and I've never even had kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might-
And he's
We'll find
17. Yeah. Tammy Poodle's right. He's 17. You know, sometimes they get, oh, this will be funny. No.
It's not funny. Yeah, that's true. Teenagers a lot of times will think shit is like going to be funny, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
you could have given somebody a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, you could have given somebody a heart attack.
And he might not have, you know, did you ever do something like that? And then when you do it, you go, oh, that was worse than I thought. Like, he might not have even realized how bad it was until it played.
But we didn't scroll down and see what people said.
Oh,
Not the asshole. He made a dumb decision, and he's going to learn there are consequences. And I'm sorry you had to live for even a second thinking your daughter was flung down the stairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, that fear only lasts a few seconds, but it sticks with you for a remarkably long time.
Yeah.
I believe that. I believe that, especially like you were saying with the hormones and everything else.
Yeah.
And like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can't even.
Yeah. They used to have a thing, and I might have mentioned this, that it was a trial thing with the grocery stores, and it didn't last. And the carts were different. They were up higher, and then they flipped open, and you pulled up to the thing, and then the cashier pulled the cart through because they unloaded your cart for you. It was made easy so the cashier could unload your cart. But I was in, and it was a new thing. They didn't stay with it. So I looked down. I got the kid. Yeah, and then and to do that, here's the thing: the front of that cart had to be hinged, and so where we lived, there was a bump when you came out. You hit that bump. Hinge with the front of your cart would fall down, and you learned after a while. But you'd be going in, and there'd be somebody coming out, and their groceries flung all across. Yeah, because there was this big bump when you came out. It was, but and so I was new to this, and so you've got your kid next to you, the cart. But then I looked down, and the woman pulled it through. I didn't realize it, and so I look up, and my child, and I am like freaking the heck out. And he was a young child. And then, I mean, how many seconds before I turn my head that direction? First, I'm looking in the street. He's not there. And then I'm like, what am I going to do? Who am I going to call? I'm going to call 911. We need
nanosecond.
Yeah. And then I turn this way. Oh, that's right. The new thing they pulled the cart through. But I still remember it.
That's okay.
It's over 35 years later.
And I'm not going to,
and I feel it when I tell it.
True, I can tell. She's like, she feels it.
Yeah. And just the cart got moved.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that he was.
So, are you familiar with the Summer Wells disappearance that happened?
Not
a while.
Not so far, but okay. Things.
Is the girl that went missing. And I think there are things about it that are maybe like suspicious and stuff that's not necessarily what I'm talking about, but people have said that it is suspicious of the mom, that she says that it was less than 10 minutes that the kid was gone before she called 911. Okay. Or she called her husband first, and then her husband, hung up with her, and then they both called 911.
Okay.
While he was on
And what are people saying? That
people are like, you called after 6 to 7 minutes?
Yeah. 30 seconds, I'm calling.
I mean, I would be the person who would call and then be like, oh, he's right here.
Yeah. He went on the dining room table. Forget it.
Sorry. Just
you're telling the story, and I'm thinking, they waited 10 minutes?
They're like, what? They called after, because he's previously had the child?
Yes.
She was 6 or 7.
Oh, it is. Okay, gotcha.
But they're saying the dad was immediately was call the police, and they're like, he's a felon. Why would he immediately? Because he's a parent.
because he's a parent and his child is missing.
Like, to me, like, there are things about it that are maybe a little bit suspicious. That's one of them.
That is not one of them. No. Mm-mm. No. My child was missing for seconds, and I'm thinking we need the deputy over here right now. We need to shut down the border. State border needs to be shut. We need to. I mean,
I freaked out about like that my dog was missing. Like, I had a black dog, and like she was very good about staying close. She was, and we lived in an area that like did not have leash laws. But every once in a while, I'd be like having like a picnic or whatever, not a picnic, but like a gathering in the backyard. And she would like go out where you could, like, she wasn't under the light anymore, and I would be like, she's gone again. She's like, I'm 3 feet away.
Like last year, she's disappeared. Or last week, I mean, every week. Yeah.
I would like call her name, and she would be like, yeah, like.
Wasn't there some like rule that you had with her where she had to be within a certain?
She couldn't go past the corners of the house. She could figure that out. Where I was like, stay where I can see you, and she did not know what see you meant, but she knew that it was like if she went past
that spot.
And it was like she did not understand like depth perception and angles of vision, but she
that
would
was
know. Okay, I don't go in the side yard.
Basically. I thought there was something that she followed the rule, but then there was a glitch in it. And
yeah, sometimes it would be like, okay, you are technically still in the front yard, but like where I am, I cannot see you.
And also, black dog with few white markings, so it would depend on
which way she was facing. If she was facing away, like that would. I would.
You never.
I haven't even told you how many times it would be like I would just like call her like in panic, and she would literally just turn around,
turn her little nose around, and she would put white on her nose.
Yeah.
I think she would have done.
You called in panic?
She would have been. Yeah, this dog was so smart. She would have been just like that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Buddy Morrow's here.
Hi, Buddy.
Tammy Poodle said before we went off on our tangent.
Yeah.
Good lesson for the kid that putting parents in mortal danger or mortal fear for their child's life isn't a good practical joke.
Yeah. Let's learn that quick.
Yeah, it is a good lesson.
But this happens on here. One person's idea of a joke. That is no idea. Nobody's idea of a joke.
It's an idiot's idea of a joke.
It's an idiot 17-year-old. Maybe he was hungover. Maybe he was.
Maybe.
We don't know what he consumed.
All right, let's see if we can find another one with a bajillion comments. That was like, it was like 15 hours ago and over 1,000 comments.
Wow, 1.3. So that's like.
Ooh, this one has an update. Let's read the title. Clicking on it. We're clicking on it.
OMG.
Y'all is blown away by the amount of comments I received. I was super split because I could see both sides of our situation, and I'm still a bit split, to be honest, but I figured I would give an update.
We get the update before we get the...
Like, where's the original? Oh, click here for the link to the original post. Am I the asshole for saying I prefer sushi to children? This is legit. Okay, switch over the share screen. So 1 second.
Ooh.
I know.
It's going to depend how old the children are, and it's going to depend what the audience was. Because I'm not going to lie. Could I have said I prefer brownies to children?
I mean, you could.
I mean, let's look at the facts.
Oh, you guys can see all of that. That's cool.
I mean, let's look at the facts. Brownies, who gives you shit? What's the positive? What's the negative? Write a little chart.
I prefer sushi to children.
You do. That was not a question. That might have sounded a question. You do.
I would rather have sushi of my own than children of my own.
Yes. That is
strongly prefer.
That is, there's no exaggeration in that statement. That factual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing against kids. Kids are great for some people.
We don't know that. See, I was thinking these were her children. That's how dark I am. I'm saying brownies, my own children. Sushi to no, you're not. I don't.
I have nieces and nephews. Okay.
Okay. Well, you do have nieces and nephews. I'm gonna put all that on my mind, and I'm gonna listen.
Okay, so straight to it.
Thank you.
My husband and I are both in our early 30s. We've been together for over a decade, and we made a decision to not have kids.
Mm-hmm.
I like kids. I have nieces and nephews. We just don't want them for ourselves for our own reasons. He had a vasectomy, which only a few people know about.
His 30s.
Good on him. If he knows he doesn't want to have kids, good on him. Sorry.
A person can change their mind, though.
A vasectomy can be reversed. But I'm sorry, like, the amount of shit that I have gone through in my life because people are like, you don't know that you don't want kids. I have said since I was how old that I don't want kids.
A kid.
And, like, I've known since I was that little that I did not want kids. The amount of stuff that I could have avoided going through medically.
Yeah.
If people would have just freaking listened to me when I was an adult at 18 saying, I don't ever want kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Because it's just like where we live, it's literally like, oh, well, you'll change your mind. You'll change your mind. You'll change your mind.
I kind of like to see some stats on that. Do people change their mind?
Right?
I'd like
And like what age is it? Did they like still change their mind?
And male versus female, is there a difference in that?
Yeah.
I'd like to see some stats. Because that would be good to know.
Bunny Moore said, that man doesn't have to go in the bin. That man can stay. Man can stay.
And that's another thing. I'm just going to throw this out there. I can't tell you how many people I knew of acquaintances that they both decided no more kids, we're not having any more kids. And who went off to the doctor? The wife, for a major effing surgery.
I've also had friends like that.
Because the dude could not go and get a little snip, so, because that was his manhood or something. I'm like,
like, I'm sorry, but like, if you have a uterus, like, getting your tubes tied is like such a bigger friggin' deal. It's actual major surgery. Yeah. If you just have testes, getting your tubes tied is like in and out.
I can tell you exactly what it is because I know 3 guys that
so do a lot of people.
It's nothing. They do it on a Friday. They
watch.
They maybe take Friday off. I'm not sure. You take Friday off.
Rhett and Link did it on camera. You can go watch.
Oh, okay. You do it on Friday. You're back to work on Monday.
Yeah. You can go watch Rhett and Link. They go through the whole process. They talk about the recovery process. Mm-hmm. They are Rhett and Link. Now that I think about it, it's weird. They are 2 guys who have a YouTube channel that they host together.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been best friends since they were in elementary school.
That's nice. I like that.
And they both kind of came to the conclusion, hey, we have enough kids. Kind of around the same time, both kind of said, hey, I think we're done, like, with their respective families.
Okay.
And just like in like brotherhood, they
Let's go together.
They did not hold hands. But they did go together in the same OR next to each other. And they filmed it, and you can go watch it. They didn't like film it; they just like filmed, but like it was
wow.
They're vasectomies. Vasectomies are quick, easy, and most of the time reversible. Exactly.
I did hear the one that I heard. Because I've heard of them coming on.
Yep.
And then somebody said that the surgeon that I happen to know, I know people that went to, they said if that one's comes undone, it's a
miracle of God.
It's an act of something. Because he was he was apparently he sewed, he turned, I don't know, that was all explained. But I've heard of,
But then that one might be more difficult to like
Right,
reverse.
right, that's the point. And then I only know one person that tried to have it reversed and it didn't. That's a very limited pool of knowledge.
Yeah.
But this person said it usually can be, so maybe nowadays it can. And that was back in the 80s.
Captain Porkbeard, I want to read before it goes off the screen. Dropping in to say hi. We're on the train crossing the U.S. for a trip for our 10-year anniversary. Oh my God!
Cool.
Congratulations, Captain and Chef Porkbeard, on 10 years together.
Yes, congrats. They are crossing the U.S. Oh, that's...
It will be up for replay on YouTube and usually on Twitch for about a month.
On a train. That's just
We're
romantic.
crossing.
That's romantic.
We're on the train crossing the U.S. for a trip for our 10-year anniversary.
That's romantic. I knew a woman that she took the long, because I only know done short ones. You know, I'm thinking this is Amtrak, but I think it's not. But that's just it did that. It was really neat. You know,
Yeah.
you look out and you're somewhere else. You wake up and you're somewhere else. That's neat. I like that.
I did. How
Have
long
a
did I
nice
do?
trip.
How long? It was days. It was so many days from Los Angeles to days.
I'm trying to remember it. It's in my yeah. Oh, I do. Yeah.
I think it ended up. It was like more nights than days because it was like I left in the evening and arrived in the morning.
Oh.
So it was a little bit. Do you remember that? You came and got me from the station. It was in the morning. And I like called you at like 7:00 and I was like, hey, because where I got the ticket for was actually like a stop past where the closest station was for you.
Okay.
It was cheaper that way
Okay.
because it was a bigger station.
Yes.
But we were literally going past another station that I knew was closer. And I called and I like asked them, I was like, can I just get off the train
Mm-hmm.
like a few stops early? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. And so I called you and was like, it because I wanted to make sure before I got up because it was like 7:30 in the morning.
Oh.
And I was like, hey, would you prefer to like get up and just meet me at this station?
Your bags are inside with you. They're not under.
Well, I had to like go, but I was asking them if that was okay and everything. They were like, yeah, you just need to make sure that you keep track of your baggage.
Write down what station you came into because I'm drawing a blank. I remember you. Really?
Yeah.
I remember
You brought Macy,
Oh, that's sweet.
my dog.
Came to see you. That
Amtrak rocks. Yes, I agree.
I
Captain
remember you notifying me
Porkbeard.
that you were
You're crossing
on.
North Dakota now.
Oh,
That's so cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Replay for the win, and yes, vasectomies now nowadays are pretty reversible.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, this was a little 80s.
80s or maybe early.
Yes, you're correct. You were correct. 90s. She's right. 90s. It was not 80s. It was 90s. Early.
I don't remember. I'm guessing based on other things. Like it's not like, oh, I have the better memory.
I hear you. Yeah, when I'm trying to remember, there was the.
Oh, right, we're still reading this.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Oh, we have the third paragraph.
Waffles and tangents. Okay, and she was gonna get straight to the point too.
Straight to the point.
I completely forgot.
My
We
husband,
got off on that vasectomy because we're like, yes, good
Yes.
job, you.
you can stay.
We're proud of him. Yes, he can.
You do not
stay.
go in the
He does
bin.
not go in the bin, and we are happy with him. Yes, we like the men that get the vasectomies.
Yes. Our families are aware that we don't want kids. And as they've asked us before during major life events, our wedding, for instance.
Yeah.
People ask you all the damn time. It's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
We recently bought a 3-bedroom home with a nice yard and a nice area. Excited to show our new home to family and friends. Major upgrade to our previous home. We hosted a housewarming. They probably were safe and wore masks and only had a few people over at a time. Or they were out back. You know, they said a big yard.
Yeah, you're out in the yard.
Point where I'm like, hey, if I can see a way where you could do that safely, I'm not going to freaking judge. I'm going to assume that you did.
You did that safely.
You know?
You did. They had to wear an oxygen mask if they went in the house, one at a time, walk through the house.
Light.
Not the blight. The blight.
Why can't people stop asking other people about their personal business? I know, right? Like, when are you gonna have kids? Never. When are you gonna have kids? Never. When are you gonna?
Yeah.
During the party, one of my siblings-in-law, Alex, made a few indirect comments about all the space and how kids would love it in our house, etc.
With that big yard.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, they asked us point blank, when were we kids?
And
Never.
And they've known this couple for 10 years.
Yep.
They didn't just wake up.
Never. When are you gonna have kids? Never. Hey, ask me when I'm gonna have kids.
When are you gonna have kids?
Never.
Never. You got an extra bedroom in this house.
That's why I have a nice, spacious office.
I was gonna say you don't, because this is the bedroom.
Exactly. I would have to give up this nice, spacious office. I would have to give up more than this nice, spacious office because I would have to have an au pair as well.
Oh God.
Because what? You want me to raise a child? Throw the in-law in the bed.
Yeah.
The bed.
Sorry, Alex. When are you going to have kids?
Never.
Okay. Okay, so Alex wants to know. She tells him no, I'm assuming.
I made a lighthearted joke about it, which is my go-to for this question. Oh, well, I like sushi too much and we'll have to give it up.
Now I get it. Yeah.
Plus, not drinking for pregnancy and breastfeeding. No.
Good for her. Just a joke.
I tried to make it very lighthearted and laugh it off. Most people just laughed along. That seemed to anger Alex. And I was told, children are a joy, and a good mother puts her kids before everything else.
She's not a mother.
Not a mother. Exactly.
She doesn't want to be a mother.
I agree.
Good, bad, or ugly.
Children are a joy. I like spending time with the nieces and nephews, and obviously, I can't be a good mom if I choose sushi over kids. So I won't be a mom.
And I was thinking with the big house, maybe that the niece or nephews, like one at a time, could come and have a special weekend with aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
That would be so cool.
I'd love that.
That would be awesome when the panini's over, if I'm still living here. Like, if the panini ever ends. I would love to have nephews and niece over, like, play in the backyard.
What a treat.
Oh my
for
God.
everybody.
Yeah, it would be so much fun.
Yeah. And these people are set up for it.
Yep, that's awesome.
But maybe they don't want to. I'm just saying. You could do this.
Or if you don't want to, that's fine.
Of course.
Too. Still trying to brush it off in a gentle way.
Oh.
Because I'm not trying to start a fight by telling them to stop acting in front of everyone because I know my tone will be seen as rude and abrasive. Yeah. You know what? Here's the other thing though, is I kind of got over like being like considered rude and abrasive around my family. And then you know what happened? My family got over it. And they were just like, oh, that's red. And then they stopped doing things that made me rude and abrasive.
That's a treat. That is a treat. Do we know if this Alex has children? We don't know.
I think Alex probably does.
We know some sibling does because there's nieces.
Yeah.
Okay. Carry on.
We move on, but Alex is still annoyed and making little comments in their group about how flippant I am about it and how when it finally happens, I'll understand. It'll never happen. You know when it's going to happen? You know when it's going to happen, Alex? I'll tell you when it's going to happen. Never.
It's not
Never.
going to happen She doesn't want it. The Hubs is taking care of the situation. So maybe nobody knows. Did they say nobody knows about the vasectomy?
Only a few people know about the vasectomy.
Yeah.
That was part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex does not know because he's saying it's going to happen.
You are not obligated to be nice to the people who are rude to you, even if it's family. Good point, Bunny Morrow.
Yes, Bunny, thank you. And throw the in-law in the bin. Amen.
My husband heard this and said jokingly, well, if she gets pregnant, that'll be a problem for the divorce lawyers.
Yeah.
The husband's relative also.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love, yes.
I like that guy.
Jay. I love him.
I like that
Jay.
guy. I don't think they're going to get a divorce, but if they do, he's
right?
he
He might be a catch.
he's a catch. He's a keeper.
Yeah, he sounds like a keeper.
Yeah, you keep him.
That's
He got a vasectomy and stands up for his wife. Keeper. You know, maybe our bar is low. That doesn't seem like
That's a good point. Moving on.
take care of your own medical shit and support your wife. Woo!
You know what though? You
Amazing,
be surprised
how
how
wonderful
many men do not
That's-
meet that bar.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking this through. That we're thinking wonderful. If a woman did that,
That's why Buddy said he can stay.
mm-hmm.
Like not like put him on a pedestal. He can stay.
Seriously, a woman does that every friggin' day, and she's not. Ooh, she's a keeper.
He can stay.
Not every woman, but just saying.
Alex goes in the bed.
Alex is. I'm just saying it.
But what hubby said seemed to piss off Alex even more.
Good.
I'm going to stop.
Good.
With the holidays coming up, we have not been invited to Alex's usual Halloween bonfire. Whoopsie! When my husband spoke to his parents, they told him Alex was annoyed that we were so careless and callous about our child-free status and to say what we did. And they realized that we had taken permanent steps to ensure we never had kids. They figured out that he got a vasectomy.
The kitty cat's out of the bag.
That
I'm not going back in.
that we know they had to do. That we know they had to do if to have kids. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that there was a little typo in there.
We were so careless and callous about our child-free status, and to say what we did, and they realized we had taken permanent steps to ensure we didn't have kids. That we know they had to do if to have kids, etc. And we are HAs.
Assholes.
Oh, okay. That we know they had to do if to have kids, etc. I thought close inspection would make sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
But wait, there was more. I feel bad because they did do if and lots of fertility treatments to have their children.
Oh, in vitro fertilization.
Sorry, I thought it was IVF. Anyway,
Whatever.
okay.
That we know they had to do IVF
Yeah.
to have kids, in vitro fertilization to have kids. And we are assholes to just not care. I feel bad because if they did do the in vitro and had lots of fertility treatment to have their kids, and even then they still had a few miscarriages. Oh, that does suck. But like that doesn't mean that like you have to want kids. Like different strokes for different folks.
No.
I can't imagine wanting kids and struggling to have them and then deal with miscarriages. But at the same time, I'm so tired of justifying my life how I'm so tired of justifying living my life how I want. Am I the asshole? This is okay. Like, I have felt this way like so many times when like talking to women who like want to be moms and like can't conceive for whatever reason. And it's like, I wish I could give you my working uterus. Like I wish that you could have it.
Yeah.
Like I really do.
Yeah.
Like you sound like you would be like a wonderful mom. I'm sure that you would be like a great mom. And like I don't want to like belittle like everything that like you have gone through for your kids because like
Well, yeah.
That, like, I mean, some people have to fight so hard
Right.
to become parents.
Right.
So hard. And, like,
Right.
I don't want to belittle that in any way. But that doesn't mean that everybody has to want to be a parent and that everybody who can have kids should have kids.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, why do we think it's a one size fits all? Why is it, oh, they worked so hard to have, okay, that's cool. It's two different. It's not one size fits all. We don't all want the same thing. We don't all live in the same house. Some people have ranch houses. Some people have 2 stories. Some people have a duplex. Some people have an RV. We're all different. Some people are cat people. Some people are dog people. Some people are guinea pig people, for heaven's sake.
Some people are no animal people.
Amen.
That's fine.
That's right.
I am currently an animal person with no animals, and it's a little bit sad. Well, I have a step pup.
And note to anyone, sometimes you have to make a joke, and sometimes you have to make, I think, I learned this.
Make light of the situation.
But almost overdo it for the person to get it. Because this has been going on and on and on. They didn't just meet and he didn't just say this. They've been together 10 years. He knows the score. And the person I know of, but the person asking had a memory problem. And the person would ask every friggin' time, when are you guys going to have kids? When are you guys going to have kids? When are you guys going to have kids? And I felt so sorry for the person. So, we're not going to have children. So, you know what she did? And it stopped it. She said, the person said, when are you going to have kids? And she said, oh, you're looking at them. And pointed to her 2 dogs. Their 2 dogs. And said, there's so and so and so.
Yeah, I think you said that before.
It was like it got through. So maybe it takes, I just don't I understand. She didn't make a joke. She's like, they're at a get together. They don't need to have a big thing about, well, this is why we choose not to have children. It's like, no, just you're trying to blow it off.
Yeah.
Bunny
Morrow said, but that's not their problem. Just like about the fertility.
Oh, okay.
Just like because someone else is having fertility issues doesn't make me responsible for having a kid, so they can live vicariously.
Amen, Bunny.
Exactly, Bunny.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She also said in the bin with these no animal people, but like qualified that it was just a joke.
Yeah.
People said me not having kids is offensive to those people who can't.
Yeah, you could.
I could have more fun.
I think offensive.
I just have a step pup right now.
Why do you not have children? Why do you not have kids? Why do you not have pets? Yeah. It's just
both.
Yeah. What is it with this society? And if you're pregnant, oh my God, just stand back because
everybody's going to tell you exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, they're going to try and touch that stomach.
They're going to touch it and they're going to tell you what to do with it.
Yeah.
I wanted to add to the few people messaging and commenting about me being the asshole for not wanting it. I'm not asking if I'm the asshole for my kid's decision. I'm asking if I'm the asshole for saying the sushi comment.
Yeah.
To everyone else, holy guacamole, I'm overwhelmed. I never expected to get so many responses. I'm trying to read all of them and the advice given. I feel terrible. My joke was taken the way that it was. And I hurt my in-laws. Yeah. I truly never meant for that to happen. After the bonfire this weekend, we'll be reaching out to have a heart-to-heart if they'll accept it. Either way, I'll be apologizing for hurting their feelings. That's kind of you. I still don't think that you were the asshole. Let them know that I love their kids and them, but I will also be firmly putting down any further attempts to discuss our child-free status if the conversation is about changing our minds. Good.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
Because I would be concerned that because I wasn't sure that this brother did have children, but I would want to, she says she's happy to have nieces and nephews. So I wouldn't want to, I can see that would be a thing. She wasn't saying she didn't like kids. She was just saying, I don't. Anyway, you want to keep.
I don't want kids.
Yeah.
But I would rather eat sushi and drink wine
than have my own kids.
Than give birth to a child.
But I think she needs to get across that. But I am very happy to be an aunt, as my husband's very happy to be an uncle, and we love your children.
Yeah, but my siblings and in-laws know that like I love them.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I don't want kids. I don't want any kids of my own.
Right.
But I love showering their kids
Yeah.
and like all of the love. All of the love.
Yeah.
Because they're awesome kids.
Mhm.
And they would like be totally fucked up if they were like raised by me.
Oh.
See, this is where the bar is in our family, and I cannot reach this bar, so I'm not having kids.
It's a tall bar.
Yeah, it's a pretty high bar. Funny said, when are you gonna have pets? Soon.
And yeah. When are you gonna do that? When are you gonna do that?
Way to make someone else's choices about you, Alex. Baby poodles. Exactly. That's, yeah, with the whole like, oh well, I had to have in vitro, whatever. Like,
Glad it worked out for you. We're sorry it was tough. We're sorry there were problems along the way, but glad you have children now.
Bunny Mara
That's
said,
very
not the
important to you.
asshole. People shouldn't ask about others' personal business if they don't want to get shut down when they're making things uncomfortable.
Amen, Bunny. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is
They
a-
made it uncomfortable, and then it's like, so she was making an attempt to get out of there.
This is the update. You ready? Hold on, I gotta share the screen again. Sorry. I forgot that it changed. I did.
Another.
No, this is the update.
Oh, she did another. Okay.
This is the update.
Oh, okay. Wow.
This is the update to the update.
Wow. What updating going on?
This is where we started. We're coming full circle.
The circle of life, people.
You're learning about Reddit.
Is it Reddit or is it a rabbit warren? You go here, then you gotta go here, and then back up here, and then down there.
Y'all, I was blown away by the amount of comments I received. I was super split because I could see both sides of our situation, and I'm still a bit split to be honest, but I figured I would give an update.
Thanks.
Husband and I sent Halloween goodie bags for the nieces and nephews
That's
with his
sweet.
parents
That's sweet.
since they were going to the bonfire.
And they weren't invited.
Right.
That's nice. One, it's an olive branch. And two, kids want their goodies.
Yeah.
It's not their fault.
Just because you were having a little disagreement doesn't mean
Yeah.
the little
Yeah, just because Dad. Because I know. It's just cute. Just because Dad was up in his sister-in-law's business,
right,
it's not their fault.
right, exactly.
So yeah, they get their treat, and an olive branch was put out there. Okay, then what?
So we sent them that way before we couldn't attend, and no matter what the issues, we have sent them that way before when we couldn't attend. And no matter what the issues are between us adults, I don't want the kids to think they are forgotten.
Amen.
Very sweet.
Very nice.
I did tell Alex's wife that we would be sending the bags and why, also apologizing and hoping she didn't feel as if I was stepping on toes or anything, but I thought they would understand and put the kids' feelings before whatever the
One
situation
would
we had.
hope, since they're so big on kids, having kids.
I also apologized if they took any offense to my comments. She thanked me and promised to talk to us soon.
Very nice.
My husband called Alex and told them we need to talk. It ended up, which is the two of them having a heart to heart, and my husband updated me later with both Alex's and his wife's permission.
So okay.
Alex admits to being a bit bitter about our apparent ease of deciding to be child-free.
He's jealous.
Yeah. Husband explained that the decision was agonized over, including therapy to ensure my and his peace of mind. Alex also went on to say that they have been trying to get pregnant, but likely won't be able to again.
Mm.
So, like, he was projecting a little bit. I was like,
Yes, he was. Yeah.
a little jelly and a little projecting.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently his sperm count is too low. I was sorry. I feel bad laughing at that, but it's like he's feeling he's not enough of a man.
Well,
yeah. Which, like, just side note, like, sperm count, manhood doesn't like there's no equation that like equates what, like, there's not.
Yeah, I don't know that
there's not a formula where you can.
It's just saying I'm having problem that I can't. Children.
Right. Exactly.
That part of it's on me, not just my wife.
Oh, and it was recommended that they stop the fertility treatments. I was devastated to hear that. I knew his wife had some issues carrying, but I didn't realize how much they had struggled on both ends to get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Alex had been playing with the idea of asking my husband to donate sperm as the only brother, and hearing he had a vasectomy kind of broke his dreams. Oh, okay. So this was like a whole thing that was all happening behind the scenes, and it just like showed itself as a like, oh, you prefer sushi to children. Fuck you.
Prefer sushi to me having another child.
To my family.
Because I had a vasectomy, and now I can't.
Yeah.
My wife can't.
Her eating sushi means that, like, we can't
have another child.
You have another child. Yeah.
That's
okay.
Wow.
Yes, Bunny, exactly. Once again, this problem boils down to an insecure man.
Bunny, I thought you were going to say communication problems, but
both of those things. Both of those
you are not wrong.
It is
Bunny.
sad, though. Yeah, sad.
You are not wrong.
Yeah. So apologies were made all around. Alex admits that he took my jokes in a way he knew I wouldn't mean, and he would stop asking about kids. Only future cats. We love it.
Yeah. Future cats. When are you going to have a cat?
When are you going to have a cat? When are you going to get a cat?
We're
working on it. We're working on it.
Okay.
We apologize for the unintended hurt. Alex sent me a package in the mail, a pair of those metal balls to hang off my drug hitch. I think it's safe to say that while it may take a bit for the relationship to feel back to normal, we are safely on our way there. That's really sweet.
A pair of balls to hang off his.
Sweet.
It's very, very, very sweet. And it's communication.
Oh my gosh, they could wrap the cat up and have a baby shower for it. Oh my gosh, Bunny did that for their cat.
Oh, they could do that.
We should do that.
They could do that. And they could make a shirt with little kitty prints on it.
Okay, I've been drinking way too much.
Okay, go back to that, because there was something else I was the update. There was something else that was just so sweet. I might have missed it. But you know what I did? You got to go.
I drank 3 cups of coffee this morning. I don't know why.
Mistakes were made. But you know, I have a friend or a woman I know, who had only had one child and wanted more children, tried for many years and could not. And at a get together, and she has a sister who could just pop them out one a year. And the sister made some remark about, popping them out like everybody does. And my friend that could not have the children, she was hurt by that. I mean, she didn't think the sister was out to be mean to her, but it was sad. And it was also sad that the sister just assumed everyone was in her boat, that everyone could just have kids when, just pop them out. So I think maybe they both learned about understanding the other side, because I wouldn't have thought all that was going on with the Alex having all the kids. But they didn't know all that was going on behind the scenes, that there was in vitro fertilization and problems and miscarriages and all that. So I think everyone learned that there's more than what we see. And it ended up nice.
am glad that they all worked it out and communicated as well, Bunny Morrow.
Mm-hmm. And found out that there's a lot more issues there. And how close must that brother feel to him if he was going to ask
Yeah,
for his?
they were probably
sperm,
pretty tight.
you know.
Well, it was the only brother, so
Yeah, but if you think but think about that. You want to raise his biological kid, you got to be pretty close for that. I'm sorry. Whew.
Ooh, am I the asshole for lashing out at my husband for suggesting I stop buying formula instead of canceling his streaming services to save money?
Mm.
Just go in the van and moving on.
Let me just say, he's suggesting she don't use formula.
Yeah, like I guess pump or
But your husband's an asshole.
But like you can't just like it doesn't like just produce on demand.
No, it doesn't. Once you go, it's hard to go back. I'm just saying. You start.
I don't know firsthand, obviously, as we talked about, as we when I'm gonna have kids again.
When are you gonna have kids?
Never.
Oh, okay. When are you gonna breastfeed?
Never.
Okay, so if you're winding down on that, that's nature. That happens, and so then your body's like, oh, okay, I need less. I need to make less of this. Okay, I'll make less of this. Are you having a moment? Oh, okay. So yeah. So besides your husband being an asshole for being insensitive, and his streaming device is more important than
his streaming service.
His streaming service is more important than what you have to go through to feed a baby, which involves your own boobs.
Did you read this part about how much?
I read nothing except he's an asshole.
The first line. Well, okay. I'm the breadwinner, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. My husband, 37, is unemployed, but uses part of my salary for his subscription paid streaming service, which costs about $80 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For streaming, like the point of a streaming service is that it is cheaper than paying for cable.
Mm-hmm.
That it's not cheaper than paying for cable.
Depending on where they live.
That's a good point, Bunny Morrow. I just read that about the last one. It's a little weird that you just assume that you can have someone else's sperm.
Well, I think he said he was going to discuss.
He was going to ask him. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't assume, I could have my brother's sperm. And yeah, you can't. You can think, do I want to go down that road? And so in that way, you have to imagine ahead of time.
It cut that road short.
Right.
It like dead-ended that road before he even went down it. The gate was closed. The gate has already been closed on that road.
Yeah, but you don't just assume.
You're not going to assume that the gate's open.
I'm going to get sperm from him.
Right. It's a little step.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wait to train my Digimon. But he's a little low on the training as well. I just need to feed him. Okay, I need to feed him.
When are you gonna feed your Digimon?
I just did.
Okay.
You did, and then clean up his little.
When are you gonna have a baby?
Never.
When are you gonna feed your baby?
Never, because I'm not gonna have one.
Yeah, that was a bad question. I'm not gonna feed the baby. Never mind.
I'm not starve anybody.
Yeah,
okay?
for the ass.
Do we need to click on this one? I mean, it looks like other people have deemed that it is indeed the asshole. Although, let's see, it's from 21 hours ago and it has 3,000 comments.
Wow.
Okay, we're reading it. We're reading it.
Okay.
3,000 comments from less than a day ago.
Wow. That's a lot. Yeah.
Okay. My husband is unemployed, spends $80 a month on Hulu.
God.
I keep finding myself coming up short with money.
No.
I kept neglecting buying hygiene products.
Oh.
And I only have one pair of shoes that look decent. Oh. Shit.
Hey.
I can't remember the last time I bought anything nice for myself, and I keep feeling guilty just thinking of going shopping for stuff that is necessary. If it's necessary, you should not feel guilty.
She does because they don't have the money for it.
You're right, buddy. Throw him in the bin.
Throw him in
In
the bin.
the bin.
And it's,
Yeah.
He's a drain.
That's all, I missed the one comment where she said, also imagine finding out your uncle is your dad. That weird though, because like your dad's still your dad. Like your dad's the person who raised you. Like be like, oh, okay, you're not like biologically as similar.
Yes.
But it's not like also it's not like your uncle was boning your mom. Like it's
Right.
but
I feel like I know somebody that happened.
yeah, it's not that weird. I know somebody that happened to. It's not that weird. She like literally, it was like her uncle, and then like happened to mention one time, well, like, oh, actually, he's my bio dad. Like,
okay. I do know from reading,
but it was something about like her cousin, and it was like, well, technically, her cousin was like her half sibling or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a medical thing, and it was like, oh, well, like the reason why that was relevant is because my uncle is my bio dad. But it wasn't like, oh, because my uncle's actually my dad. It was like,
yeah,
it's because I'm more genetically similar to him than I am my real dad.
Well, I do know, and I think there was two. They were novels, but I thought they were historically correct. And the one was, oh, you know what it was? He wasn't. He was.
Was he actually boning her mom?
No. Well, he was.
Weird. Waffles and tantrums.
He was you know that the policy they used to have that when a boy sang very good, high with a piano, that they would castrate. Oh, okay.
That's why it's called a castrato.
Okay, so that in this novel that had happened, but he was married and everything, they were okay with that, but they wanted to have children, and then so it was recommended that.
Hey, if you're a castrato and you like meet somebody who's like asexual or like you whatever is taken care of, like you got everybody's needs are met. Whatever.
That would be one thing, but this was just to impregnate her.
Well,
yeah.
So long as everyone's need, and that is also a need, is their need to be parents.
Yeah. And then I also read one where it was that the husband died young, and that it was then expected that she married the brother-in-law.
I feel like that's like pretty common. That's like biblical.
Really?
Yeah. It's like if your husband dies, like you become whoever's wife of like basically you're part of the estate that goes on to the nearest male relative.
Well, there you go.
I think there's like a story about, I can't remember which. I feel like it was in that whole like, is it Exodus where there's like, I can't remember, but there's it like refers to, he's got like, all these kids, and it's not Jacob. Like that's the one where it always like, I think of Jacob and I think he had like 12 wives or whatever. There's somebody else who had like, I don't think it was 12 wives, but it was like 6 or 8 wives. And it was like, well, this one was his favorite. And then these 2 were like his like first, early wives or whatever. And then these ones were like not really his favorites, but like they were his brother's wives. So like whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I feel like it's like the brothers' wives' kids like don't even have names. It's like, well, yeah, he had a son by each of them, but like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so it's not unheard of.
Right.
And
is that Jacob? No, because it was not.
I thought there were 7 tribes.
Dinah was the only named daughter of Jacob, but it was not. I'm trying to think of who.
No idea. But it would be better than that. How many cases have there been where the doctor was the sperm donor in so many cases? Like you know about that or no?
I heard about this like a while back, but it was
he's like, oh yeah, I got a sperm donor. It's me.
He was a eugenicist.
What is that?
He believes in like DNA superiority.
Oh.
He thought that he had superiority.
He had some good.
Specifically because he was like blonde, blue-eyed, white guy. Like one of those. Yeah.
And a medical physician.
Yeah.
So that has happened. And then there's also that case of that man that just kept donating and donating, and women kept going, women, and for some reason the company didn't think too many, and they found out about it, and actually the women formed a group like online, and they showed that they got together at a park, and there was children everywhere, and they were all this man's children. That would be harder to explain than
I don't feel like that would be hard to explain because I remember seeing that shit and it was just like, huh, yeah. The only thing that it was like a little bit concerning was like if 2 of his bio kids. But here's the thing: is he didn't have any like genetic disorders or diseases that would have been passed down. It doesn't matter
if his 2 children had sex. There's going to be a problem.
No, not unless there
I
are.
don't
like science.
I don't know it, and I don't want to hear it.
It'd be gross. But
my science tells me that no, you can't. You can't do that.
Okay, there are like so many instances in history where it has been done.
Siblings.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into it, but like, yes.
I don't even. I can't.
Okay.
My blood sugar is not balanced enough for this.
You need to check it.
I should have brought it in here.
Okay, let me grab it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was my thought, is that you really need, but here's the thing. So you ask a potential partner, in the blue one, you ask a potential partner, was your father a sperm donor? But you might not know that, because in the day, it was recommended that you not tell them. I mean, I've read that. It was recommended that you not tell that child assume that your mom's husband is your dad. And so you can ask your potential partner, did you have a sperm dad? So could we be siblings? And neither one of you might know that information. Thank you for getting this.
Correct. But I remember that specific documentary that you were talking about. This guy,
the park one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Was basically free of genetic diseases and defects, so it actually wasn't an issue.
Don't say it. Okay, got it. Check. Are we back to the
Buddy Morrow said, I'm adopted, and the fear that I could accidentally hook up with one of my full or half siblings is very real. I believe it.
Thank you. I thought I was adopted and had that. My mother told me I was no child of hers. You're adopted. You're no child of mine. Oh, I'm adopted. Fact. I was a young child.
Also, like, the thing is that, like,
I know what she's gonna say.
Her and her mother look as identical as she and I do.
I know what she's gonna say. I hear you.
Like, I remember the first day, and there's the thing that happened to me one time, and I was just like, oh, that was weird. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I remember when it happened to me. I was in my 20s, and I was like on a road trip, and it was like one of those things where it's like I was like sleep deprived, and I was like trying to like, I was wearing makeup at the time, and I was like just like trying to like get my freaking face on for like whatever, and I like was in the middle of a conversation thinking about 14 different things. I was like basically, on my brain screen, I had 15 different windows open. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I looked down in the mirror and I saw her. Like my brain like took like one of those like nanoseconds to like be like, nope, that's not your mother, that's yourself.
I'm sorry this happened.
It was just, sorry, that was really loud. But yeah, I was like, it was just like, oh, that was weird. That was weird.
Have you ever seen any of those? Did you ever do an aging app and see me?
I did. Okay, so I went to theater school and we learned to do old age makeup, and I actually skipped a generation because I was looking this close and then getting all the details right, and then looked up in the big mirror and saw her mother.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
I did one of those, what is it?
Face up.
No, it was more where you could just take a snapshot picture and it made you look old. Anyway,
like face up.
okay. Anyway, clicked on it and it was like I was looking at my mother.
I did one where it was like a gender flip, and I looked like my brother, but it wasn't the brother that people tell me that I look like. It was weird.
Well, I did it, and then I smiled because it was like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at my mother, and then it was my mother smiling back at me like we were in a thing.
Right.
Okay. It was like my mother and I had this little thing, and it was a screen. What is it called? Oh, my grandson.
Processing the photo.
The other one was, oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, there it is.
You kind of look more like your dad.
Can you do it older than that? She needs to be older than that.
I mean, no.
One I did was old, completely gray.
Oh, that looks like her. That looks like before she, like years ago, but like that does look like her. That's funny.
No.
I
I did one where it made you look like a toddler and I looked like my granddaughter.
That looks like me. That's weird.
That is weird. Who is that person?
That's you, but aged to look like me.
That's me younger?
Yeah.
I never.
Looks kind of like me.
Give me as a toddler and see if I look like my granddaughter. Because I did that. Nope. Oh!
Brows are off, but
Yeah. Can we go even younger or no? I like that she's wearing the same outfit as me.
yeah.
Every age, we're wearing the apron.
All right.
We're the chef.
That was. Should we get back to? I think we were still in the first. Waffles and tangents.
Waffles and tangents, people. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Buddy Mara said that their cat heard your voice getting high and came to check to see if you're okay.
Oh my gosh. When are you going to get a cat?
Soon. Someday.
That is so sweet. The cat checks on everyone. People on the
We need a
internet.
kitty. We need
Bunny
a kitty.
said that? That is so sweet. I have too many people in my family that are allergic to
Me when I because my wife is also allergic to their dander, not allergic to their dander, allergic to their fur. This is because like the hairless ones can still get dander.
Oh, okay.
And so if you're like highly allergic to cat dander,
Yeah.
a hairless cat will not like solve your problem.
Oh. I just assumed it was a dander issue. There's a fur issue. I have to check that. 2 family members that are highly allergic to kitties.
But are they allergic to the
I don't know.
fur or
I
the
don't know.
kitten dander? And that is going to be the important question. Whether or not they can come over to my house when the panini is over. Because I'm going to have a hairless kitty.
Hairless kitty.
Hairless kitty cat.
I remember that dog. But she moved to Florida.
Poor dog.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's the Sunshine State for a reason.
Hmm.
It's called the Sunshine State for a reason.
It is. Yeah. Puppy got a little burn.
I worked at a vet clinic in Florida. I remember
Mhm.
many dogs getting sunburned.
Oh, like on their little nose. Like even if they weren't hairless.
Or sometimes if they were like the dogs with long hair and they get like a part down their back, they'll get a little sunburn on that.
Oh.
Or we had one that was just like old.
Losing his hair. Thinning. And he got a little sunburn.
Yeah.
They reset. They relocated from the north, and they didn't think of it.
I don't know. I think that he might have lived down south his
Oh,
whole
but
life.
then when he started losing his hair,
He had some like alopecia issues,
Mm.
and he would wear a little jacket.
Mm. Yeah, or zinc oxide, but then they're going to smear that all over the place.
Yeah, you don't want him to eat the zinc oxide.
Didn't think of that.
Anything you put on a dog's skin is going to end up in a dog's mouth. Just
You're not wrong. Yep.
keep it in mind.
Yeah, that is a good point. Mhm.
All right, so back to the. What are we on post number 3? I haven't been saving them.
Oh,
I haven't
I
been
didn't
saving
either
them.
to at least 3 because I say I can read it this week, so I didn't make the note. There was the one where she disrespected my mother. And we're like, no, that's setting boundaries. That's not just respecting.
This is This
And
is the mama's
then-
boy.
Oh, and then
I can
this is
relate
the
to
number 4 because then there was the baby doll down the steps.
Oh yeah.
That was 2, and then 3 was the we don't
I
want to have kids.
I do
What
want to
will you
say
be my? What will you?
I'm never in favor of violence,
Okay.
but if she would have slapped that 17-year-old brother, I would still not have said she was an asshole. Just say it. Just say it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that she realized she overreacted.
Yeah, but
But understandably.
understandably,
Woo!
that boy.
He just, like I'm like my pet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't have kids. That's like what I can imagine, but like, oh
Yeah, like when a pet like even slips on the steps, you know, and it's like the bottom 3.
I remember when my dog, she recently, she passed away recently, but like, and this is months before she passed away too, otherwise I would like have correlated the 2 events. You know how big my truck is. She jumped out of my truck, like, before I like got a chance to like, she's kind of blind. She did not realize how tall it was. And she got partway there and was like, oh shit! And like she hit pretty hard, and it was I terrified even for like a while afterwards. I was like, "Are you sure you're okay?" She's
Yeah.
like, she was fine
She was fine, yeah.
because she was that she was that dog her entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Her entire life. She's
She was
like,
a
what
tough- She's a tough customer.
the? Yeah,
She was.
but
Yeah, that 17-year-old boy.
yeah, I would have slapped him.
Mm-mm.
No, I hopefully I would like to think that I wouldn't have slapped him. But
Yeah.
if she would have slapped him, I would not have blamed her.
Yeah, and then yeah.
So this is number 4.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe that is correct.
I only have 1 pair of shoes that look decent. In the bin. Man goes in the bin. I keep neglecting buying hygiene products. I only have 1 pair of shoes that look decent. I can't remember the last time I bought anything nice for myself, and I keep feeling guilty thinking of going shopping for stuff that is a necessity. I sat him down for a discussion, and I told him that our subscriptions are taking money. I can't keep paying for them while I have other responsibilities.
Yeah.
I asked him to choose 1 channel.
Reasonable. Or
And
one service.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you can get more than 1 channel on the service.
I asked him to choose 1, and he threw a fit, calling me ridiculous to think streaming services are the reason I'm always short on money, and then he blamed it on the expensive and unnecessary makeup. He calls it fake up. Oh my gosh. She's the freaking breadwinner. Like, she can wear whatever the fuck she needs to wear to work.
And maybe it's kind of necessary at her work. I'm not.
When I went to cosmetology school, it was literally required. It was in our dress code. Women will wear full face of makeup
And
finished
it
and
said
completed
what that
before.
was. Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah. It's like,
Mm.
that I keep wasting money on makeup. I got angry and said that he needs to respect that makeup is part of my personality, and I won't quit buying it or wearing it. And you rightly so.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
Also, it's like makeup is also one of those things where like if you buy expensive makeup, it lasts longer. And
Yeah,
like it's
That's
not
what I'm
like
thinking. It lasts a long time.
like if you buy like cheap dollar store makeup, that is actually a waste of money because like
Mhm.
it's only gonna like last for a little bit before it gets caked up. It's not gonna like apply very well. You're
But
gonna
don't
get
you
frustrated.
think like a Maybelline CoverGirl?
A mid-range nice makeup like
Mhm.
and a mid-range can still be expensive. Like it can be a good chunk of money.
But not like there are some brands that are quite expensive.
Right.
I just know before I got
Yeah, you don't
married.
need to be like buying Tarte or whatever, but like
I mean, before I got married, and there weren't as many brands as there are now, believe me. And I think the expensive ones, that's kind of been a more recent thing. And I would use like Clinique or Estee Lauder. And then I got married, I had kids, and I needed to buy formula, and we moved to a rural area. And so the first time I went, I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy this called Maybelline here. See how
this
this works
cheap stuff. It was fine.
I was like, it's fine. It's not that much different than Estee Lauder. So, yeah, maybe.
But we don't even know. Maybe she
We
is
don't
just
know.
buying the Maybelline.
We don't know.
And to be fair, even the Maybelline is like $10 or $15 for like a tube of foundation and shit. Like it's not depending on if you're doing a full face of makeup every day or not.
Oh, never did that.
I know, but like some people.
Yeah. I understand. I got you. I hear it. Yeah.
There's some people who never get to the bottom of a cosmetic, whatever it is, and it's like it gets to the date and they pitch it, and like that's fine, and like that's cool. That lasted them 12 months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But for some people, it literally doesn't last that
long. And there's some people, and I'm not condoning this certainly, and I wouldn't have any first-hand knowledge of it, possibly, but they use it past the date. Not condoning. Not condoning. Not condoning. Not condoning. Not condoning. People that
also, if you don't know, a lot of people don't know this. I realized that when you have a cosmetic here,
I think I know what she's gonna say. Yeah. What she's gonna say, there's that thing on there that says how many months after it's open. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
And yeah. This is public service because
did I just happen to grab one that's not considered a cosmetic? I grabbed my my cold cream, but I guess
I'll look at that while you go get another. I sure think this is considered because the cream that I had has it on it. I do not see it. Can it be like on a tear off tag or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a depotting date is basically what it's called.
Depotting.
Yeah. And what it means is, but if you open it, you have this long to use it before it's trash.
Yeah.
And it's because it'll oxidize. It'll literally go bad. It's not like, oh, we just like put this on here so that you throw it away and get a new one. No, it'll actually go bad. That's why I do not condone people using it past the expiration date.
But I am surprised it's not on here.
This one I know it was on a tearaway thing. That's why I was just like, whatever, I give up. I'm not going through.
But if you see a little drawing thing on there that's a container,
it literally looks kind of like this.
Yeah.
With the lid open, it looks like that. Yeah. That's what it looks like. Okay.
And then it'll say like 12 m, and I was like, what? It's 12 meters. It's 12 what? I don't know.
12 months, and the longest it can be, I think, is 36 months.
Yeah,
I feel like for makeup, it's like usually 12 or 24.
Yeah, I think 12 or 24.
Legally, the longest it can be is 36 months. So if you have something that is 36 months, then like maybe it's not going to oxidize, but yeah. Okay.
So she spends some money. We don't know.
Bunny Mora says, "I think the husband deserves the dungeon. That man is bringing nothing to the table but the audacity
and bills.
He can't bill. Yeah.
He wants his streaming devices. I'm guessing he wants food. Yeah. We don't know. It
can harbor germs and bacteria and give you an infection. Not worth it. Exactly. Exactly, Pammy Boodle.
Yes, right. Yes, Pammy, you're right.
So to buy makeup, not necessarily buying anything.
We don't know.
Yeah. he said that I was trying to financially control him since I got offended when he pointed out that I waste money on makeup and explained that he cannot and will not be bought with money no matter how desperate he is. I said, okay, then let me cancel all streaming services and keep one till he can pay for them once he finds a job.
Yeah.
But he refused and said since he's the stay-at-home parent, then those streaming services are a right and not a privilege, and that I should keep paying for them without complaining since he's the one with our sons all day, and it's taxing just like a job. I mean, he's like got the tiniest of points. He has the tiniest of points.
Is he a stay-at-home parent?
Well, he is unemployed. I'm the breadwinner.
Believe me, I'm just saying. Okay, so she's
they have a 9-month-old baby. Somebody's staying at home with them.
And she doesn't mention daycare or paying for babysitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like he has the tiniest thread of a point. But here's the thing: is that like if your family cannot afford freaking streaming services,
you don't
like go to the library and rent a freaking DVD.
Yeah. I mean, not all stay-at-home parents say, "I need this." These.
I understand being a parent, like you, not necessarily being a parent. I understand being a stay-at-home person, like needing some form of entertainment besides like a 9-month-old. Like a 9-month-old is not going to be like very intellectually.
Don't we think they have the internet?
Maybe they don't have the internet. Maybe they don't have. I mean, obviously they do with like HBO. But like, go watch some YouTube. Go to the library and rent a DVD or borrow a DVD. Go borrow a book. Go borrow an audiobook. Like, you can find sources of entertainment that are free.
Absolutely.
And like, to me, it's like the first priority is to make sure that the household is taken care of, and then we can start talking about like types of entertainment that cost money.
Right. Yeah. Take that 9-month-old.
Especially $80 a month.
Take that 9-month-old to the park. Go for a walk. Read a book.
Yeah.
Please.
There are also free streaming services. Yeah, I know like Overdrive, and Hoopla is one where you can even get like recent movies and stuff. You get like a maximum of borrows per month. But like yeah, there's absolutely like free like YouTube was one we mentioned, like Twitch, you can go stream on go watch people streaming on Twitch. Like there's absolutely entertainment that is free.
And in my day I had a book.
Yeah.
If and when the child took a nap.
Right?
Other than that, you're too busy.
Final straw was when he suggested I stop buying formula and go back to breastfeeding since that is unnecessary and expensive. First of all, where do you think the calories come from?
Okay.
Because like whether you're like paying for formula or whether you're like buying food to consume and turn into breast milk, like you're still paying for it. It's not like it's just like free.
I feel like
it's not.
Okay, when your dog nursed, did you
had to feed the dog more
extra?
Yeah. When I had a cat that had kittens.
Yeah.
I had to feed that cat more than twice as much as I fed when she was not nursing. I had to cut her food by half when she weaned those kittens.
Wow, I didn't. And in fact, with the first one, I tried to eat all that stuff they said, you need this if you're nursing, and
oh no, she turned into she had boobies.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we weaned those, and you remember my ex at the time was like, she keeps crying for food. Like, I'll give her more food. She turned into a little freaking football.
Yes, she did.
Because she wasn't nursing.
Well, I think that depends.
Those calories have to come from somewhere.
I guess mine came from my body. Because there was enough extra in my body.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that it's not like, we just breastfeed it free.
Here. I feel like I did.
Okay. But that was because like you were maybe a little overweight when you got pregnant.
Yeah. I'm willing to take that.
I said maybe.
With the first child, when like I said, when I tried to eat the extra stuff, I was like, I don't need that. I gained a lot during that.
Yeah, it's also funny, like we talked about earlier. Yeah, and he knows the people who lactate can't just turn it on and off.
Yeah, you can't say, okay, I cut down because I'm going to. Now we need to open the spigot more.
Yeah, you can't control the amount of milk that's produced. Like there's like a little bit, but like mostly it's just nature at the wheel. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can do some things.
You can do some things to help out.
I guess he started pumping more.
But
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's a jerk.
Like, so he's a jerk. In the bin. In the freaking bin. In the bin. I was floored and was seething. I lashed out at him asking if he literally thought canceling formula is better than his precious subscription. I also work. I have no time to breastfeed. He just said that he doesn't know what it is anymore and that I was pushing him, but I told him he no longer has the choice and I'll just stop paying for his channel / subscriptions altogether, which had him reply, I guess they're texting, that I was being unfair and unappreciative of his efforts. Oh no, they were talking in person. He stormed off, calling me controlling, and kept cold shouldering me. Am I the asshole?
And enjoy that cold shouldering from him because he's an asshole. So that's a break. You're getting a break from him. Okay. Got it.
He left his previous job due to issues with his employer. He struggled with finding a job in his field and refused to work in other related fields, saying his dignity won't let him since he worked hard for his degree. So he's not necessarily the stay-at-home parent. He's just the unemployed at the time parent. Okay.
And he's unemployed because of his dignity.
My makeup gets replaced every few months. It normally costs $50 or more, but that's very few months, not every month. So yeah, she's replacing it as needed.
This is perhaps an unpopular opinion. She could cut that.
She could probably cut that a little bit. Whatever. I stopped breastfeeding for health issues. And now work, but he never stopped criticizing my decision to use formula, calling it a waste of money, and then I could push past the pain and provide our son with real benefits. Take him in the nut. In the bin. I still do the majority of the work around the apartment.
Of course you do.
The bin.
I'm not.
Then take the bin to the dungeon and light it on fire.
Agree. I told you the limited experience I have with stay-at-home parents of the male persuasion. Just saying.
What?
I've had some experience with stay-at-home parent of the male persuasion. And it was indeed a dude that lost his job. And
sometimes stay-at-home dads can be great.
I know, but not all of them.
That's true, but not all stay-at-home moms are great either.
Good enough.
I don't want to put it. It's not. No.
Yeah. Won't go there, but
yeah. If he wants them so bad, exactly, Bunny Morrow, he can pay for it himself. Exactly, Pammy. How are multiple streaming services necessary for him to care for a child anyway? Yeah. I know screen time can be a useful tool when watching kids, but literally YouTube will hold their attention.
Yeah.
And I have plenty of things. Okay, I also have other streaming. I have one other streaming service that I use besides YouTube. But YouTube and Twitch, you could, YouTube, Twitch, and a trip to your friggin' local library.
Yeah,
You'd be fine. You'd be fine.
And the park? Did we not rule out the park?
Yeah, this man needs to disappear. So Money Morrow.
Yeah, honey. And I'm just saying because she does the majority of the work, so that I'm saying he's not the stay-at-home.
He's not stay-at-home
parent. He's an unemployed dude.
It sounds like he just wants to watch his favorite media all day while ignoring the child.
It does. It does.
That doesn't
Who said that?
Pammy.
Yeah, Pammy. Yeah.
Bunny said, anyone know someone with a hog farm? Bunny is brutal.
She is. said another one that was on point, but it was brutal. Yeah.
Maybe it's brutal.
Yeah. Bunny, you mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yes, buddy.
Yeah. Mm.
I mean, Pammy can be brutal sometimes too.
Yeah, but
Buddy,
another.
Buddy, I feel like it's a savage. No, this is just people's
okay.
response.
Okay. Wait.
What efforts he's contributing?
Nothing.
Financially. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Part of my chores, so I shouldn't complain. Oh, 1-800 me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No. Chore strike.
I love it. A chore strike would be great.
Yes. Remember years ago the mom that she was like, I'm done with all of you, and she moved into the treehouse?
I remember the one where she like packed up all of the dishes.
That's a friend of mine. That wasn't on the news.
That's the one that I remember is the friend of yours. She was so sick of like
you all cannot handle
dishes.
Y'all can't handle it. You are not up to the task of having dishes.
This inspired me, by the way.
The dishes are going.
She packed up all the dishes,
Everything.
as did I, when I was later inspired by this woman.
Every dish.
Packed up all of those dishes, put them in the fucking closet where nobody's going to freaking find them.
She put them in an outbuilding, and she told
I put mine in the closet.
She told them she pitched, and they believed her. She told them they were gone.
I just didn't explain it to my roommate. I was just like, they're gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're gone.
Well, the Hubs and the two kids thought they were gone, but, to not be returned. And
stack of paper plates.
Yeah, that's what she did.
I can deal with it.
That's what she did. She's like, you all cannot handle.
Also, at that time, we had a very healthy compost pile that could deal with all the paper plates.
Oh,
and I still don't think that it was great to use that many trees, but we were growing freaking penicillin in our freaking kitchen sink. Okay, we have already discovered penicillin. We don't need it.
We don't need to redo this experiment. What about? And this is just coming to me now because I know there's a person that is a minimalist, and they've limited they've limited what's in their kitchen because she's the one that I first heard that says this is the season of your life, and I said I like that because it's not saying I can never have this. It's in this season of my life. I
don't need that.
Yeah, and so she has literally figured out what meals she cooks per week. And just kept the dishes for those meals, the serving dishes, the baking dishes, everything else went in the basement. She didn't pitch it. That's all she's keeping. And I'm fairly certain it's one set of dishes per family member.
I love it.
So you could do that. If you don't have anything, I don't.
My friend who lives out west, I think she said she has 2 of everything.
Okay.
And it's okay, if she doesn't want to wash it right away, she has enough.
Yeah.
But it cannot pile up.
Yeah. But I mean, if these were adult children, the one and yours were adult roommates, you got one set. Gosh, I guess
we could color code them, Billy. This is
what you could. And then I guess it's gonna suck for you having soup tonight without a bowl.
Because you just won't drink it out of the little
But don't double dip.
How do you get that one?
Yeah. Maybe you can decide coffee, soup, make decisions. Maybe you got one
stuck in the morning.
Your choice for this meal affects your choice for the next meal. Unless you do this magical thing called washing dishes in between. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Kimmy Poodle says, I'll cast the judgment, but Bunny's the one who's going to carry them out.
Yes, I think that's true. I think she's on to something there.
Bunny said, you can call it brutality. I call it good old fashioned.
Or natural consequence. I
love it.
Mm-hmm. Good old fashioned values. That's right.
This one is from less than a day ago, and it has over 1,000 comments. It's called Am I the Asshole for not changing my baby's name?
I think we only have time for one more.
Well, then let's not do any more. Let's. I actually did want to kind of chat about the Astro World event that happened.
Oh, okay.
You heard about it, right? With Travis Scott. Oh wow, she hasn't heard about it. Okay.
I've not heard of Travis Scott. I think this is not.
I actually barely had heard of Travis Scott before this shit happened, so that's cool. I think I probably have a lot of international audience that also isn't familiar with what happened. There was in Texas last week. There was a concert festival.
Okay.
And 8 people died.
I read. Okay.
You've probably heard at least a little bit.
Yes, I saw a headline.
It was a crowd search event. People were literally crushed.
And we're discussing this. Why?
Because I haven't been able to talk about it this week because I ended up talking about Amberlynn, and I felt like that I needed to address it because I feel like that on my channel I try not to shy away from discussing things. And I did kind of want to get your opinion on it also. Because you were around for when the Deadheads got a little wild and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they weren't crushed. I mean, that was at a football game in South America. Crushed.
Right.
It wasn't dead. The Deadheads were. I don't think they.
But they. Well, I guess I remember stories about them sleeping on balconies.
Yeah, that was my girlfriend. She woke up in the morning and there were these people on her bed. She was on the second floor.
But I just think they're doing a lot of drugs.
People were sleeping right there. I just
think a lot of the drugs and the festival vibes and that kind of thing because I feel this is kind of the younger generation's kind of version of that.
And to be completely honest, yes, I know I'm not naive that there weren't drugs, but I didn't hear that part of it. But I guess you got to be on something to climb a balcony.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of part of what was going on with this whole festival. Now,
they were a peace-loving bunch, though.
Yeah, see, and I feel that is kind of part of what was the issue with Travis Scott's whole thing. He's been in trouble many times before for inciting riots.
Is he a musician?
He is. He's a rapper. I think we're gonna call him a musician.
Okay.
He's not a musician that I listen to.
From his name, I thought he was a country western.
No,
he does a lot of those Travises.
He's a rapper.
Okay.
So
you feel like his group is there's a lot of chaos and
rioting and he's been. I think it was Lollapalooza. He was let's rage on him. And he told the security people to back off and not stop people when they rush the stage. There was somebody that he
wanted to incite.
He encouraged people to jump off balconies. One person got pushed off of a balcony and was paralyzed.
That happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Travis Scott's response to this, my understanding is his response to this was, well, it's not a mosh pit if some people, if nobody goes away with injury. Which, to be fair, I've been in mosh pits before, and okay, you might get I am I'm pale as all get out, and I'm bruised like a peach. Yes, okay, I'm taking an ibuprofen when I go in.
I never heard them write that down. Bruised like a peach.
Dude, though, isn't that accurate?
I just never heard that saying. I used to hear sayings every week. Bruised like a peach. Got it.
Really easy, okay? And I get that you're maybe gonna get some bruises. You're maybe gonna sprain your ankle. You're maybe gonna.
You're not gonna be paralyzed for life.
Exactly.
For life.
Die.
That's not normal in a mosh pit.
Yeah, people don't die in mosh pits.
I've never done it, but
I've done it, but
it doesn't seem like oh, I'm taking my life in my hands if I do this. It seems like you're gonna have a wild ride and maybe, like you said, some bruising. Worst case scenario, maybe
a sprained ankle.
Red wrist.
Well, I think a lot of times because people will like step on your feet and then you get shoved. So like a sprained ankle, I feel like would be like a normal injury to happen in a mosh pit. Like, like that sucks, but like understandable how that happened.
Yeah.
A sprained wrist. There were people so tightly packed, literally so tightly packed that people would put their hands up to take video and they couldn't put their arms back down. People were crushed so tightly together that people could not breathe. There were people like trying to jump up on top of the crowd just so that they could. Oh. This I want to show you pictures of. I'm not going to show you any like graphic pictures, but
he was inciting them. This is
This was the security. These are the metal detectors. Those are the metal. And the people just rushed the gate, knocked down the metal detectors. People are just running through. These are people that are piled up. Okay, I'm going to show you another one. You can look at that one.
And we're saying that this person had knowledge of this.
Yeah, he knew that this happened all before he came on.
And he didn't say, y'all need to settle it down.
Right. No.
He just acted like this was okay.
That's the same from like a couple seconds. That wasn't the one.
So is he going to is any of this going to be put on him?
This is the gate.
Oh, heavens, Betsy.
These people are like already getting trampled. Do you see this? There's people down there getting trampled.
Why are they doing this? What are they in a rush for? They're going to the concert that they have tickets for. Why are they rushing?
They don't all have tickets.
Why are they rushing the gate? Because
so this concert sold out. And Travis Scott's response is, well, we know that the wild ones will still get.
Is any responsibility for this going to go on him?
That's what they're talking about, is like whether or not, because he has been charged before with inciting a riot. 8 people died at this. These people rushed through the VIP security, rushed towards the stage where there were barricades. Now, there was video of like the one security officer talking about like, oh, that he didn't blame. Basically, they had zero training, and they had people that were like in their like late teens or early 20s working security that had zero training. And he was saying, oh, well, that it was like the issue of the barricades and that the barricades didn't get. Well, you don't want your barricade to get because that's your fire. Okay? There should not be that many people in there to where people are literally being physically crushed up against the barrier. Like, that was the problem. Yeah. The problem was not the barriers. The problem was that there were too many people physically pushing.
Too many people.
And basically people are saying that like when this shit happened, that they should have canceled the event. That they should have said, okay, y'all aren't responsible enough.
Yeah. I agree.
Y'all aren't responsible enough.
You don't carry on after that.
At this point, when they're going through the metal detectors, knocking down the metal detectors, okay, we cannot guarantee that this event is safe because people have not gone through the metal detectors. There are people
was an upright thing.
That was a pylon to walk through. And they knocked them down.
Yeah. No, it's over. Y'all can't y'all can't have nice things.
Yeah.
And those of you
a whole bunch of comments.
And those of you with tickets, we can see about a refund. If you barged in without a ticket, then
so he released this video where he was like, my, heart condolences to these people. I'm paying for the 8 funerals.
All that shit.
And I'm refunding the ticket. Like freaking bare minimum, not even met. Sorry, buddy. Like that does not even mean the bare minimum.
That's nice.
And a lot of people said that he looks. Now, I personally don't want to speculate on this, but I could see where people are speculating that he looks like he's inebriated when he made this video, his apology video. And it's like, dude, bare minimum, just like be sober, maybe. Like, I don't know. But he might be one of those guys who like does so much drugs that he looks like he's inebriated when he's sober. Like, I've met people like that, unfortunately, that are just like have done so many drugs that like for them to look their most normal is like when they're actually high, and if they're sober, they look fucked up. Okay. I've met people that are like that, unfortunately. So, let's see. I've been going to this is Bunny Morrow, punk and metal shows. How does that not surprise me, Bunny? Sorry. Since I was 13. Okay. The rule of the pit is that if the person next to you goes down, you pick them the fuck up. There are rules. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that.
And like, if you fucking elbow somebody in the face, you fucking apologize. And if they need to get out, you get them the fuck out. Here's the other thing that is also kind of a rule for mosh pits is that like, if you need out, you go to the edge. Okay. And then like, you can kind of follow the wall sometimes to like get. Okay. But like, these people, if you look at the site, and I don't have any pictures of it, but like, they are like leaning over the barricade to try and get a breath. There's no going to the edge. Like, people, like, they're just like packed in so freaking tight, and it's just like, yeah, like you were saying, like, if somebody next to you goes down, you pick them the fuck up. I think in some of these instances, it was like they literally, somebody went down and they couldn't even tell that they were down, or they couldn't even get them back up. Like, it wasn't even like, oh, the people next to them didn't care. There were literally too many people that they were just pushing where they could not breathe. They could not expand their chest to catch a breath.
And this is just thing. Well, I heard somebody that goes to Lollapalooza, and then
failure of crowd management. Yeah, Lollapalooza was the one that charged him with inciting a riot.
Because let me just say, and I also heard somebody that was, and so I knew somebody that went to them, and then I saw one video of a band there, and then it would zoom out, and I was like, oh, I see what he's talking about. All this huge group of people, and then I heard somebody that was there, and like when it let out. And they were like, I was just in the crowd going, like when they're leaving.
Because you just
the crowd. But everything I heard was it was peaceful. It was like, yes, it was a crowd, and you were all leaving at the same time, and you were not dispersing from that crowd until you got farther away, and then you could go your separate ways, I guess. But it was peaceful.
The ambulance.
That's what I heard about Lollapalooza.
He did shut down. I did see later on that people were saying that like he did like for like 1 minute was like, hey, like let's get the guy out of here or whatever. But when the ambulance came, he didn't say, hey guys, can we part the ways for we need to get the ambulance in here. No, none of that. There were people literally jumping up, dancing on the ambulance.
No.
I'm not kidding.
And he is up on stage.
And he's up on stage just still singing.
This is a medical emergency. This is a freaking emergency.
He went on for 30 minutes. He went off on the wings more than once, where people could have been telling him he was wearing an earpiece, where they could have. There was a girl who literally climbed up on one of the towers with the cameras and was yelling at the cameraman, you need to shut this down. People are dying down there. And he was like, you need to, like, until I hear it from them, I'm not shutting anything down. You need to get off my stand. He met with the chief of police beforehand and did not follow the recommendations of the chief of police. Now, they did do, like, the fire exits where they do, like, a side exit as opposed to a center aisle, which I don't get why they do that, like, for something like this. Like, there should be, like, a center aisle to, like, basically the mosh pit. Like, there should be, like, a way for an ambulance to get to the mosh pit when it's, like, this big of a festival. Which also apparently they couldn't get up the side aisle. Like, the side aisles were, like, the fire, like, were not wide enough to get a fire truck down.
Say, this is so limited. I can just say, and anybody that knows Red Rocks in Colorado, and maybe it's different than it would, but it's a natural rock formation. Awesome concerts there. One time I was there, and there was a medical emergency. It was not because of the crowd. It was not, and an ambulance had to come in, and everything.
And they shut everything down.
And nobody was like, what the fuck? Bring our music back on. No, and the musician, it might have been, I think it was Jimmy Buffett.
He saw somebody was passed out. Like, he even says on the microphone, hey, that guy's passed out down there. Let's get that guy out. This is before the ambulance came out. They're literally, like, crowd surfing this guy out. I'm not going to show you pictures of that because it is fucking graphic. They're literally crowd surfing a guy out.
And they're just
completely unconscious.
And they're just carrying on.
And he says, hey, let's get that guy out of there. That's all he says. And then goes back to like singing bars. I mean, I feel like at that point I would be like, hey, there's somebody passed out, like, let's shut down. We're gonna take 20 guys. Okay, we're gonna smoke 50 guys.
Let's get an ambulance in here. Let's see what's going on.
The ambulance was literally 2 minutes away. When they finally did call an ambulance, it was 3 minutes between the time that the phone call was made and when the ambulance got there. But there were people saying that they couldn't even hear the medical calls because everything was so loud.
You got it shut down. That's what the one I'm saying. I was at it shut down because there was a medical problem. It had nothing whatsoever to do with the person, whatever. It had a medical emergency, like you would if you go anywhere. You have a medical emergency and everything shuts down. I'm like, well, let that ambulance get in here to take care of this person. And then he's not doing that. He's causing problems.
I'm going to put some links of first-hand accounts of people. If you want them, I'm going to put them down in the description below. But they're not down there now, but I'll get them down there.
No, I'm sorry.
You don't want to see them. I know. That's why I'm not playing them.
Yeah. And warn people before they, you know what you're clicking on.
Yeah, don't just go click.
Yeah, no.
I thought also a little bit of.
I thought like a stage. I saw the headline.
There's a 9-year-old in critical condition.
I thought like a stage. So like
no, the crowd crushed.
Not a stage. Seating. If that happened at outdoor events.
The crowd surge, crushing event. 8 people died. A 14-year-old, a 16-year-old, and 6 others.
Oh,
children who went to this event.
Yeah. Well, Bonnie was going since she was 13, but they were two events. But
like when you were 13, you didn't think that you were risking your freaking life. Like you don't think sending your 16-year-old, your 13-year-old, whatever, to an event like this, that they're going to be risking their freaking life.
No, that is not on your radar. You think it might be drugs?
Horrible situation. Failure of crowd management. Travis Scott was definitely negligent / reckless regarding the situation. I agree. Yeah. Crush happens when no one is able to pick up the fallen, as they're at risk of being crushed if they try. Exactly. Yeah. And that was like the one guy was like, I just had to basically he had to pick up his fiance over his head. Because he was tall enough. I think he was saying that he's over 6 foot. And so he was like, he could put his head up and get a breath. But she was short.
Oh.
And so he literally picked her up because she could not breathe.
And think how many guys can do that and how many can't.
Right.
I mean, yay, he could do that. Yay for her and him. What if you got a tall, weak boy? What if you're both short?
It's hard to imagine unless you've been there and seen videos of how. They should not have been that. Exactly. They should not have been tight to begin with. That's not a mosh pit. Exactly. At that point, it's literally not a mosh pit. They were people that were saying that it was a mosh pit in that there were times when you would go left or go right due to the movement of the crowd and not under your own. That's what a mosh pit is that you're just jumping up and down and you're moving the way that the crowd moves you. Okay. But these were people who were we did not come for the mosh pit. We just came to get a good spot. And now we are involved in this basically a mosh pit that just crushed and crushed and crushed and crushed and became tighter and tighter. And like I said, then they broke down the barriers, so there were people rushing from the back and pushing and pushing and pushing, and there were way more people there than there should have been there. And people are basically saying, oh, well, it's sold out, but he's saying, oh, we'll still let the wild ones in, so that means I'm one of the wild ones.
Yeah, so that's a challenge. That's a challenge.
So how many hundreds of people were just there, yeah.
Not even a challenge, it's glamorized.
Exactly. Exactly.
If you want to come bad enough, you'll get away here.
Yeah. A human crush event will fully immobilize people and crush them to death, even without being trampled. There were people who also did get trampled. And I don't know specifically about, the deaths, whether they were crushed, standing up or whether they were trampled. But like it doesn't, like there were people saying that like basically, like I was saying, that the crowd would move you left and right. The people who are trampling them, they're not intending for their feet to go wherever their feet are going. You know, it's just like they like yeah. If they don't stand up, they're going to be trampled themselves. If they don't put their feet down where they are, they're gonna be trampled. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The crowd was not managed properly. It was a total shame. Yeah. Individuals can't be blamed. Yeah. It's the responsibility of organizers to keep it safe, and they didn't. As soon as those barriers went down, and as soon as they knew that they had people in there that had not gone through security, and it was more than just 1 or 2 people slipped through.
Right.
As soon as they knew we had literal dozens of people who had rushed through, bypassing security, no, they should have shut the event down. They should have shut it down right then and there. Also, there wasn't enough for the security to deal with the crowd. And I think that there might have been, had there not been so many people that like rushed through without tickets. I don't know.
There wasn't that picture. I mean, there were horses and there were security people.
The one video, it was like the person who like the quick thinking of this one because the one guy, you can tell that he's like maybe like a more head security guy, and he's like maybe your age.
He's that older, more mature one.
He's the older, more mature one who maybe could have very seriously been injured had kids come running at him. He is like the more, he's like, I'm gonna do this, right? And he gets to do that as the pylons are coming down. And one of the younger security people grabs him by the arm and yanks him off to the side as people like start.
Because he was gonna stand up.
He was
like,
gonna.
You're not gonna.
He was gonna. And she was like, "You're gonna die."
Like, that's what you're gonna do. Yeah, we're here. A for effort.
Exactly. So like, sweet on her. Or him. I think it was her, but I'm not sure on that. But yeah, on both of that. Like, yeah, it was just like, yeah, like the people. Like when you keep saying, "Hey, it's not a mosh pit if nobody gets hurt." Hey, I see you up there on that balcony, but are you gonna do it? Hey, you know, like when you keep saying these types of things, like that is the type of like audience that you are like asking to come to your event. Plus, they didn't have it last year because of the panini. Yeah. So like, well, they did, but they had it in Fortnite, and like, I don't play Fortnite. I also don't go to Astroworld, so I'm not either demographic there, but I feel like people were not as excited about going to a virtual,
of course,
game event as they were like an actual in-person,
of course,
festival, right? There were also reports there of people getting like drugged. Like there was a security guard who had like a needle mark in his neck after he like went down. And what seemed like a drug-induced like overdose was given Narcan and resuscitated, and then later did find a needle mark on his neck, which I was like, that sounds like shit out of like freaking spy novels. Like, but like that is the thing that it has started happening recently, which is just like so messed up. And
it's just like injecting another person with drugs.
No, this was a security officer that was like trying to like control the crowd. But yeah, people shouldn't accept refunds as it could prevent them from suing. I don't think that it will prevent them from suing, but that's a very good point. Yeah, like that might be part of the reason why he was like, I'm issuing you all refunds. I'm issuing you, like, that was like his response was like, I'm paying for funerals and issuing you a refund.
Yeah, I didn't have time to think about it when you said that. I'm thinking, I don't think I want your money for my kid's funeral.
Exactly. Now I should also link the GoFundMe. But I think there are a few GoFundMe like
GoFundMe's fine. But let me just say, I'm fortunate that I could pay for a funeral.
But what I'm saying is that I should also link those.
Yeah, absolutely. GoFundMe, great. But yeah, I
don't know if I would want Travis Scott's money. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
It'd be a big F you.
Yeah.
And then, like she said, then go to court and get his money that way.
Funny more is that people were getting pulled out of the crowd all day and they didn't shut it down. I did not realize that. Like, yeah,
What did that mean? Pulled out of the crowd?
like you are causing a ruckus where, like, the point where you need to be ejected from the vicinity. Like, you need to be removed. Yeah.
And they just kept on going. And whose call is this? I mean, we're saying it's this guy's call, but there's the I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Bunny said, like, at that point, grab those barriers and move them. The ones along the side of the stage were different than the ones that were at the entrance, and they were actually not movable barriers. They're typically screwed into the ground. And so, like, you can move them if you have the tool. But if you don't have the tool, like, it's not like, which somebody was saying, like, oh, the problem was that the barriers didn't budge. The barriers did what the barriers were designed to do. But it was too many people inside of the barriers. And too many people pushing from the back also, where they did not realize what was happening.
Right.
Which also, so it's one of the Jenner girls is Travis Scott's girlfriend. I don't know if you knew that. It was, I guess, Kris Jenner's birthday was like the Astro, and I guess they were like posting pictures where there was like an ambulance in it, and they were like, well, they should have known. I don't think that they did actually know. Like, I think they knew that there was somebody injured, but I don't think that they actually did know that somebody had passed away until afterwards. I think the people at the back didn't even know what was going on until, like, they heard people yelling. But even at the back, you can see videos of people who are at the back, and you could hear the screaming people saying, "Stop the show! Stop the show! Stop the show!" People like screaming in pain over the sound of the concert. So, like, at that point, I feel like the people at the back should have been like, "Hey, let's get the fuck out of here!" Like. But like, if you can't help the situation, you need to get out of the situation. But again, I don't think that it was like up to individuals. I think that it was the organizers that did not follow what the friggin' chief of police suggested that they did.
Yeah.
The fire lanes were not wide enough to get an ambulance down.
I'm just.
Oh, also,
whose call was it?
There was only one oxygen tank on site and 2 defibrillators total.
We don't know what's standard. And who?
Oh, this is also a quote from Travis Scott from before the event. You better rage or go the fuck home.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think he was inside Aaron.
He was inside Aaron. And he got it. People die because of it.
The narrative of blaming the crowd and calling them selfish, uncaring, etc. is an attempt by the organizers to skirt responsibility. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the same as blaming the poor for being lazy. It's a bigger issue. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we have doors in public buildings that go out, because the theater that they were all trying to get out, that back when the doors could go either way and they were coming inside, they were pushing against
it was a crowd crush event.
Yeah. And that, I mean, one of the original, and it was a fire, but those people
happened in the UK.
We're not blaming those people. They were doing they were trying to get the hell out, and they were in a situation where they couldn't, and so now laws have changed and to prevent that. So we don't blame these people, but there seems like there's so many levels that could have stopped this. I don't know, but we're talking about there's the people that own the place where it was. There's the people that are running the event. There's the celebrities. I mean, there's the security.
Yeah, how many times could he have been when he walked off to the wings? They could have said, "Hey, we need to shut it down." Yeah. And could he have just said, "Hey guys, we're gonna take 20, 30 minutes. We'll get back here. We're just gonna like let the ambulance come in and take these guys." Or when he saw what was happening, because if he could see the front of the fire lane, now I don't know what his view was from the stage, but if he could see, now he was, at one point he was like up above the crowd. So like, I don't know how he couldn't see the people who were literally leaning over to gasp for a breath. I think at that point he could have just said, "Hey guys, like real quick, everybody take 10 steps back." And that would have like alleviated a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I know you guys want to get a good view and everything, but like we're gonna be up here for another hour and a half, so you'll have a chance. Can everybody just take 10 steps back for right now? We got Drake coming up next. Like, trust me, like you'll get your chance. I would just like move back a little bit to the wings. All right, let's take a couple steps.
So we've got it. Our case is that proved that this guy is incited this and didn't. Yeah, but was there nobody else?
He's the asshole. I don't have the the overlay, but like
Friggin'
Travis Scott, you are the asshole.
But was there? Okay, so what if this happens and then
Oh, there's way more comments. Sorry.
can somebody else then go on stage and say, two security guards and take him off and then say, hey, this is being shut down. This is what's happening.
That's what I feel like should have happened.
That's my question. Where's the buck stop, if you will?
Yeah.
Because we're blaming him, and obviously he's guilty. Who's the next? What's the next?
Yeah.
The next adult in charge.
Yeah.
The next step for safety.
I mean, he has a kid, so I feel like he's supposed to be an adult.
Right, but he was not.
I went to a Dropkick Murphys concert where they stopped mid-set to pull people out who were being unsafe. They made everyone back up and refused to play the show until it was safe. Yeah, exactly. Like and that was the band was like, hey, we're not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't risking my life because the elder punks and the metalheads look out for the younger ones. Now I'm the elder punk. I take that job seriously.
Thank you. Thanks.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, maybe that narrative isn't being actively created by the organizers. I guess I just meant that it's taking heat off of them, and they need the heat. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
This is on them, not the individual.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's true, Pammy. It's also the responsibility of the artist to make sure that his fans know how it is acceptable to act. Yes, that's what it's saying. It's like, dude, like, these are your fans. Like, are you, like, is that how you want Travis Scott fans to be known? Like, apparently, you better rage or go the fuck home.
Yeah, that's what
that's what
that's what he wants.
Yeah.
So who's the next one?
Yeah.
I mean, could it be the person that
he can't control them all, but he can use his influence to try. Exactly. And that's, you know what? Sometimes there is like a crazy, stupid fan that gets like a wild hair up their ass and like does some stupid shit, and I don't fucking blame an artist for like one. It's like when Owen from Telltale like said he put out that he put out a video. We talked about it on Canon Wars. I just had a question about it. He had a video that was about Jimmy Snow, and it was an ill-researched video. And then somebody came back and fucking sent him and his wife a freaking death threat. Like, okay, yeah, you had a stupid video, but that does not mean that, like, you deserve a death threat. Like, okay. But, like, this is a different situation. This is, like, he's setting the precedent, in my opinion. Yeah. Totally agree, Bunny. Travis is a big player among his organizers, especially. Yeah, he personally met with the chief of police, I believe. Especially staying on stage and keeping the show going throughout the incident. Yeah, it's go watch video of it. It is really, really messed up. Like, he's like making eye contact with it happening, and like goes back to singing about it. It's just like, right. They're there to see him. They're going to listen to what he has to say. He could have asked people to leave or dissipate and taken some pressure off the tight spots. Exactly. Yeah. It's like I was saying, take some foot back or whatever. Yeah. I think also Travis Scott has created a community that doesn't police itself. That is kind of what it sounds like. Yeah. Yeah, it's not like you were saying, Bunny, about like that, like, we don't, you're used to like a mosh pit where you don't let that happen. Because, like, you have enough respect.
People don't let it happen.
Right. You have enough respect for your fellow mosh pitters, your fellow crowd gatherers, your fellow whatever
human being.
Exactly. That, like, you don't let it happen. But like, he is facilitating a situation where people just don't even bother to think about each other like that. Yeah. Not to say that individuals are bad people, just I've been in similar crowds where this kind of thing doesn't happen because the artists make sure people know it's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like that hits me.
Yeah.
And that's all I really wanted to say about it. Whew. Besides, I think that there is 30-something lawsuits. Yeah, there's over 30 lawsuits that have already been filed.
Good. I would file one.
everybody who's there should
Yes,
freaking file one
because-
for freaking pain and suffering.
Yes. Well, mental.
That's mental anguish,
Yeah.
mental pain and suffering.
Yeah. To be exposed to that. That's tough. That is. Yeah, no. And do they need to have protocols put in place going forward so that
Yes. And that's, I think this will be one of those
something,
situations.
yeah, well, this is one of those situations. So if the artist doesn't take care of it, then the chief of police comes in and they take the artist off the stage and they take over the event. Who's the person
Yeah.
to get this under control?
Who?
If we're assuming it's this artist and this artist is not doing it, this artist is not doing it.
When that guy operating the camera has the woman come up next to him and say, "Hey, we need to shut down the show.
Mhm.
There's people
Mhm.
dying down there."
Mm-hmm.
How do we take that up the level of command instead of
Mhm.
saying, "Until I hear it from them, I don't do anything"? How do we say, "Okay, let's get this. How do we get
Well,
this shut
and
down?"
maybe it's like as a teacher, if I saw what I thought was abuse, I had to report it. Regardless, if I was like, "Oh no, I don't think that family would do it," I was legally
You are mandated reporter.
mandated bound. So what if we make what if there's a law that if you realize this and you're a paid employee of this event
And this person needs medical attention.
and you see, then you are bound,
You're duty bound
to
shut down the event and make
try,
sure that
to try to
to take it up the
move
next
it up the
level.
ladder.
Something like that.
That would help, and then have. I'm guessing people were caught
This is a
unawares.
very good point, Bunny Morrow. He said he's going to pay for funerals and refunds, which again, like not even
That's
very, whatever.
A refund. Whatever.
But is he going to pay for people's therapy for the
Mhm.
trauma that he caused them? Yeah, for like literally the rest of it.
That's why I would not take the money because then, yeah, I would sue for more. And so, but I'm saying, okay, so maybe we're saying that people that see something, do something, and then maybe we're also saying that there's a protocol put in place that maybe in the past it was assumed you saw this, the person with the microphone stopped it. Maybe now there's a protocol that if that person doesn't, then this
Then you
person
do
does.
this.
Then you do this, and then you do this.
Yeah, because there's people like, because the girlfriend is saying like, oh, we didn't know about it until the end. Well, okay, when he went into the wings, who didn't inform him
What girlfriend saying we didn't know about it?
that people have died? Now, keep
Who
in
said that?
mind,
Who said that?
the girlfriend of the performer,
Oh, okay.
the baby mama of the performer. But it's one of the Jenners, and I don't remember which one.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Sorry, guys, I get them all confused. I can usually remember which one's a Jenner and which one's a Kardashian, but like beyond that,
I don't know.
yeah, it's just wow. Is really
Yeah,
It's-
because the
it's
ones
that-
I've heard
now-
of were, that the door was jammed or the scaffolding dropped or the seats dropped or
I
there was a
quote.
fire or something like that. No, this is just
I quote.
Okay.
You better rage or go the fuck home. Now there were people who were saying that like before the thing started that there was like this demonic
Kylie
music.
Jenner is the one.
Kylie, thank you.
Thank you, Bunny.
So there was like this demonic music and stuff. Like, it sounds like it was just like trance music. Like I've heard like recordings of it, and like yeah, okay, it's not like the typical festival music, but like that was kind of the whole point of this was that it was like special, and it was like we were coming out of the panini and blah blah. Blah. So, like I kind of the people who were saying that like it was like literally like a demonic possession, and that he like there were people saying that like he sacrificed these people. And it was part of like no, like there's literally like there's no evidence of that, and I just like that's the only other thing that's in my notes. Like that's just a bunch of bullshit.
No, he just wanted a big ass event, and look
He
how
wanted people to talk about him. He
Yeah.
didn't necessarily want people to talk about him like
look how many people want to come see me, and I'm so great, and look at all this. Look to what extent they're coming to see me, and how pumped they are, and
look how crazy
I'm
they are to
great.
see me.
I'm great.
Yeah, exactly, Bunny. People are quick to blame the devil when they've been looking for it all along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, rap music is the devil." So like already, I feel like that they're primed.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's a bunch of bullshit, obviously. But that's I think as far as unless anybody has any questions, but I feel like the rest of my notes are just like mostly about like the history of the festival, and it's not important. I think that we talked about all the important bits.
Yeah, I got an education.
That's the part of why it bugs me that he bugs me so much is because the shows I go to that the people call satanic all the time, that people don't get hurt. Yeah. Nothing satanic about any of this. It was an unfortunate event that could have probably been prevented. And hopefully in the future, steps will be taken to make sure this never happens again. Nothing like this ever happens again.
Agree.
Because, like, what the fuck?
Agree. On that cheerful note, we ran over.
We ran over time. We made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah. So give it a go. And get back to us on variations if you like, you don't like, you find, oh, I did this was good, I did this wasn't good.
Tell us what your best peanut butter and jelly sandwich is.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll make another one. Maybe she'll like it better.
I'm just being honest, you know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
I feel like people appreciate that about you, though. Like, you're just going to be brutally honest.
See those cookies? There was one, they put, it's something fake that they put so it won't melt under the lights. It's like plastic or something, but it's like, it looks like ice cream or something. And there's video of this woman eating it, and she's going, and then there's something, she was eating plastic, and it is horrid, and, so you can't trust
I feel like Amber Lynn does that. Like,
you
all
can
the time.
you can trust me, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
This is a little on the dry side.
Even with the...
I
felt like you did not... I felt like you put not enough butter and too much jelly.
I felt like it was not enough peanut butter. And I also feel like...
I could put more peanut butter, yeah.
And I also feel like, why put the margarine? That's no bueno.
Peanut butter banana?
That's good.
Pammy
That's
suggested
good.
that.
That's good, Pammy. But why put that margarine? That's just...
It gives the moisture to it and another, like, flavor profile that just, like, I feel like it just... it's like when you add, like, a little bit of salt to something and it just kind of heightens the flavor.
I'm just saying less margarine, more peanut butter.
I say more margarine on that side with the jelly. Less jelly. And also maybe more peanut butter. Yes, my fry. Go insane.
Peanut butter and banana.
We might have to give that a go. That might be what we're making next week.
That's some tasty stuff right there.
All right, guys. I will probably try and get to you with an update about the Amberverse. And
where are you going to put that crowd search?
Oh, yes. I will put
crowd source or whatever.
The crowd search link. The GoFundMe.
GoFundMe, that's it. GoFundMe.
For the funeral.
So that these people don't have to take money from this
fucker. If we already did get at least our 2 F-bombs in, but we can throw it.
Yeah, we don't have
a cap. We've got a minimum of 2 F-bombs.
Now we know.
That's what somebody said that. And I was like, yeah, I think it's probably accurate.
Okay.
At least 2.
We can keep a sheet. When we get to that, we know.
At least we need to at least get 2 checks in the corner, all right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.